You're listening to the Gamecasters.
Natalie, Jeff, and Ryan are the Gamecasters, and they do a board game show, inboxes, and nooks and games, and top 5 lists, and sometimes there's fart jokes.
Hello, and welcome back to the Gamecasters podcast. Everyone, hold your breath and take off your pants. If you pass out before you get a floaner, we have not done our jobs. All right, ladies, also, hold your breath and take off your shirt. And if your nipples... Welcome to the show.
What?
We are filled to the brim with piping hot urine, so give us a fucking second so we can use the bathroom. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Ryan Forgot to Wash. With me is Natalie the Small Bladder and Jeff the Peas like he has a massive hog gamer. We are back for more gaming goodness ahead of the Origins Game Fair we're about to go to for the first time ever next weekend. We're taking the kids, and we'll be gaming with them most of the time, but a number of Gamecasters groupies, what do they call themselves in the Discord?
Castrites?
Gamecasters? Gamecast, like...
What was when you? What's the thing where you cut your penis off?
Castration.
Yeah.
Game castrators.
Game
off their
castrators. There was another word they used, and I didn't know what it meant, so I didn't.
Yeah, something.
Oh.
I think it was something like castration. Anyway, a number of our game castrators will also be there, and I'm looking forward to watching them all have fun. While Natalie and I constantly field questions about how much longer this is going to be and when we can eat and where's the bathroom, even though
My
you just
feet
went
hurt.
5 minutes ago. Stop drinking so much water. Will you pay attention? It's your turn. No, I don't think your friend Sadie is here. We'll get Pokemon cards later if you're good. Oh my God, stop drinking water. Will you sit still if I have to watch this one more time? And it's just you getting out of your chair to jump 3 inches off the ground while spinning. We're going right back to the Airbnb. Now let's have fun for the love of fuck.
Speaking of that, Scarlett.
That seems like it's coming from a place of... This has happened before.
I'm really looking forward to spending quality time with the family.
Scarlett does this thing. She it's like a thing with her. She has to go to the bathroom constantly, no matter where she is.
Who's Scarlett, you said?
Every
Scarlett.
5 seconds.
I thought you just said who's Scarlett.
Who's Scarlett?
Oh, we had a third. Wait, yeah, I had a third.
It's such a thing
6 years
that
ago.
whenever we literally will sit down at a restaurant and Scarlett will just look at me and go, Natalie, you know.
That's
all she says.
And then
I'm
she'll
just like,
point
let's go.
down to her crotch. Like,
That means
Gotta
you know I'm
gotta
about
do
to
it.
tell you I have to go to the
Gotta
bathroom.
Oh, I pooped.
Got a wee wee. Oh,
Whoops.
hey, change me. Change it up. Let's go.
Vacations with little kids are never really vacations for the adults. So we'll be taking lots of pictures and Xanax. And it's funny how when you were a kid, you had no clue your parents wanted to kill themselves. But they did.
Yes.
And now you know that now as you're like, vacations are
I feel
fucking
like I wasn't
work.
as annoying.
Yeah, that's what you think.
You think that. But your parents still hated
I'm
your...
also always surprised that when I think about my parents, that they were my age at some point.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
It's weird to be like, oh, they were my age, hating all of this the same the way that I hate this.
And also, I feel like my parents were always older than me. And so, like, I'm like,
Makes
I'm
sense.
an immature
Yeah, makes
little...
sense. Normal.
No, but like, I'm an immature little fuck. I'm 40 now. When my dad was 40, like, there's no
did
way
he
he
act
was
like
like this. This is what he was like. Like, I don't... That's just so weird.
That's the funny thing about getting older is you learn that you don't mature with age. You just stay the same.
That's true of me so far.
Honestly, I really
sure.
think that's
Yeah.
true.
I'm 40 and I still masturbate sometimes.
There's people older than us
Just
that
sometimes?
Sometimes. It's fun.
sometimes
Yeah,
you
Have you ever tried it? You should try it.
Okay.
It's good
sometimes
stuff.
it's like
See if there's any scramble porn on. You know?
there's definitely people many, many, many years older than us who are like where I'm always like, I feel like I'm more mature than you.
You are.
Don't judge us.
You were born mature.
You're younger
Don't
than me, so
judge-
you're not
I
in
know.
this category.
We know.
You're not in this category.
Shoo. Natalie's shooing me like I'm some
know.
fucking bug. Her hand flailing.
Like you're trying to strap Cameron into the car and you like...
Yeah, no.
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here.
Shut up. You're younger than me.
But in all seriousness, we're looking forward to experiencing Origins for the first time.
Yes.
I've heard it's more of a players convention, but still has a pretty robust vendor area. And you always hear about how great the food is. So I'm just guessing it's like 32 locations of island noodles.
If it's not, it's a real
I
disappointment.
like that though.
It would be terrible.
I like that
32 island noodles?
Yeah, me
it's
too.
kind of
That sounds
like,
delicious.
If we want to play, it's going to be like easy to find space to play. If
Right, who want to fuck? We can leave the kids with the Gamecaster people, go back to the Airbnb.
King castrator people.
Castrators.
If you want to wander, there's stuff to look at, and then, food.
Is that what you're looking forward to the most at Origins?
What?
Wandering food?
Yeah, getting food. I kind of am. Everyone talks about how great the food is there.
I don't know if it's the thing I'm looking forward to the most, but I am looking forward to that because everybody's building it up. So you guys all better be right.
You do
I
need
know,
to,
that's
you
true.
need to eat.
Good.
They do.
So
Well, because I like the food at Gen Con.
Well,
yeah.
it's
Gen
not,
Con's got great
I
food.
don't think it's at Origins that they're talking about. They're talking about this place
No,
in
I know.
Columbus.
I know. It's like juts up to
this,
the
like-
back of Origins or something.
It's like some.
What's it called?
From what I forget.
the butt plug
food.
district or
What I
something.
understand,
Got it.
it's like some
Right
giant
in the back.
building
Right in the back.
Yep.
that just has like a bunch of different places.
It's
to, like,
called a food court.
eat. Yeah, that's what I think of it as.
So it's a big food court.
Yeah,
right
but they
giant
there.
say
food
it's
court.
like
Mall.
a variety of delicious food.
Well, and what I've been told is, so we haven't been to Origins. So Gen Con is just, as we all know, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people on top of each other constantly.
Right.
I don't think Origins is going to be quite as populous.
Right.
Yeah, what's the?
But
Do
it's
we know
also
the
probably
numbers?
not as
Like how many
big.
people?
I
Like
think
the
I looked it
building.
up at one point, and there were no
Like half.
elephants in Ark Nova. So I'm going to say 30,000 people.
I think when it started, when in the 70s, when Silo was written,
When it was written with the Silo book, then
you
it
know,
had,
there was
yeah.
probably maybe 5,000 people.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
well, so this is kind of news. I'll just say it. I'm going to go to Origins for a day.
Okay, I kind of was like, I'm tiptoeing
you talked
around
about
this.
it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
tiptoeing around
So
this.
I'm going to go for a day. I'm going to go for Friday. So we're not that far from it. We're about 3 hours.
So all three Gamecasters are going to be at Origins this
So I
year.
will be there. I have no idea what to expect. I'm going to be, as we call this, a leaf in the wind. I'm gonna be a leaf in the wind and just see what happens.
Hell
Walk
yeah.
around. A lot of the Gamecaster Discord is blowing up with people scheduling games and what they're bringing and all this amazing stuff. So I'm super excited that everybody gets to just kind of like hang out and do
Yeah.
that. I think I'm just going to show up and like say hi and
Yeah,
play
work-
games
just
if I
work
can.
the room.
And just or maybe I'll wander the vendor hall. Maybe that's something like I'm excited to see that in comparison.
Same.
I know people like Origins a lot. There's like an Origins crew that likes Origins a lot.
Like the
Yeah.
show.
I think it's popular to like hate on Gen Con because it's the biggest.
Yeah,
like it's
agreed.
one of the things that people are like, oh, this
cool
is
to hate it.
It's better than Gen Con because I get to do this, and it's like
Right.
it's just different. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be. This doesn't
Yeah.
have to be
I'm
so
really
much
curious
better.
to
Gen
see
Con
how
doesn't have to
it's
suck.
different.
You're going to go
Like,
to Origins and be like, oh my God.
oh my god, it's
Oh my God.
so much
they were
better.
right. Oh my God.
I'm
But if
curious
it's
to
like
see
hang
about
around
it
and play.
because we've only been to Gen Con and then Grand Con, which is very small.
And Jeff and I have been to a bunch of little Michigan conventions, like
Right,
Nerd
so I'm
Fest. Have you heard
kind
of that one?
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what like the middle one is like.
Well, this is not just middle. This is the second largest convention in the entirety of the United States for board
Yeah.
games.
But it's big.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's
But
this is a
I'm
big. This is
saying,
going to be a
as far
big
as
con. It's just not
size,
going to
do
be
you
quite
think
as
it's,
big
like,
as Gen
in the
Con.
middle of those two.
Absolutely. Well, it has to be. If one is 100
I mean,
people and one
like,
is 70,000.
It's going to be
Smack dab.
no way. It's going to be. I think it's going to be much closer to Gen Con than Grand Con.
Okay, so if Grand Con is 1 and Gen Con is 100, where's Origins?
70.
18. Wait. What was the question?
Wrong.
She said if Grand Con is 1, Gen Con is 100. Where is Origins? I think
9,
Origins is 75.
9,
Really, that
18.
much? That big?
It's big. It's a big con. It's not going to feel
Oh.
small like
What does
Grand
Google
Con.
say? How many people go?
Yeah,
What if
Google
there's-
it, man.
if there's
Why do I have to Google? You have a
70
computer in front of you.
I don't
Yeah,
have a
but my
computer in front
mouse
of me.
is broke. I mean, it died.
Mouse?
My mouse died.
double click
trackpad.
that shit.
The mouse pad sucks.
So
on
what are you
the
looking forward to the
computer.
most about going, Jeff?
I don't know. I just really figured out that I was going like
Now,
a couple days ago.
almost.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
almost
like
right now.
right now.
Where so Devin and I are traveling with our 2 children to Florida very soon. So we're recording on a Friday. We're leaving Sunday, and that's going to be stressful enough. We get back Wednesday, and Devin told me last week, she's like, how about you go to Origins, and that can be like your Father's Day present. Just go away, right? I'm like, okay, cool.
yeah.
So I'll go for a day. So it's 3 hours there. I'll probably get up between 6 and 7 and just leave.
Okay.
Show up there. I think the vendor hall opens at 10, and then I'll just hang out until I feel like I'm 3 hours away from passing out, and then
Goodbye.
and then I'll leave. I'm excited to see people. I was really, I don't want to say maybe borderline jealous of all the people that are going to be like hanging out. right?
FOMO.
There's like there's a frat house of Gamecaster
Shitload of
listeners
people.
that are hanging out
Yep.
and
Yep.
scheduling all these games. And yeah, I think I just want to see it. Like it's something that I feel like,
We got to do it.
Yeah.
you know,
Gotta
we've
do
been
it
playing
once.
board games for a long time.
Well, now's probably a
not
good
that far
time to
away.
do it because
And, right,
you know a
it's not
bunch of
that
people
far.
going.
Yeah, it's
So-
not that far.
We have talked about it we talk about it every year. Is this the year we go to Origins? Let's go to Origins this year. We just never do.
Yeah.
I think it's because Gen Con is also close by, and
Yeah.
it's the bigger one. And we typically love going into the vendor hall. You know,
love
we
it. I
can.
can't wait for that,
We
too.
play games enough, not enough, but we play. You know,
Yeah.
we're not starved for having to play games, which is why you go to Origins.
Right.
You know, I don't necessarily go to a board game convention like that big and care about playing. I want to see
Yes.
the spectacle.
Yeah.
That's
You know what I mean?
exactly
Yeah.
what my thought was. Is if Origins is like a giant nerd fest, let's say,
Yeah.
we have that.
Yeah, we have right.
Like I'm lucky enough to play games weekly, either with our game group, with my wife. We have these like mini fests, or we just have a day where we play games.
Yeah.
And there are so many people who aren't that lucky, who don't have that. And like Origins or PAX U or these other conventions are places to go and sign up and play all these games.
Right.
That we're kind of spoiled in that like our friend group loves playing board games and heavy games, and we just kind of can do stuff. Like in 2 weeks, we could be like, let's hang out and play games all day. And people would show up and be there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see the vendor hall. Because I think it'll also be something where I can maybe sit and play some of these games that are there. I know it's not like a huge release because Gen Con is the big
Gen Con's the big day.
like release games.
There
We looked
usually
at
is a few Origins releases that are okay.
Yeah, so
But
I don't even
I feel
know.
like you don't hear about like, oh, this game is so great it came out of Origins this year. That typically doesn't happen. It's usually Gen Con or Essen.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'll walk in or out with many games, right? Like I don't know if I'm going to bring a ton, if any, or walk out with a ton or any. But I think just the experience, I'm really excited to just kind of see it,
See what it's all about.
see the exact middle board game convention versus like
50.
the Michicon, hanging
Well,
out with
listen
smelly
here.
people.
How many people
Gen
go
Con.
to Gen Con?
Like
60
60,
to 70.
70,000.
This says before the pandemic in 2019.
It says exactly half of the people show up.
It says, you know about Grand Con?
20,600 went. And last year, 2022, only like 11,689
Wow.
went.
Okay. That's much smaller than I
Okay.
thought. That's still, I mean, Grand
So
Con's
18,
probably
I
like
won.
1,000.
I won 18. I got it.
Yeah.
So it's less than half. Okay.
Yeah.
That actually is cooler. I'm
Less
okay
than
with
half
that.
of Gen Con.
Gen Con.
Yeah,
Gen
yeah,
Con,
yeah.
Because in my head, I thought I was in Natalie's zone of like, maybe it's half. Maybe it's 30 to 40,000.
I thought it was 30,000 for some reason.
But, hey.
Okay, 20,000, that's nice.
20,000.
11,000, that was pre-pandemic.
And then pre-pandemic, and then last year was just
So they'll
under
get-
12,000.
There'll probably be more than 11,000 this year.
I think
Probably.
so. Because
Yeah.
Gen Con seems like, from everything I'm seeing and reading on forums and seeing the map, Gen Con is going to look like
The Gen Con of old.
pre-pandemic. I
yeah,
think
I mean,
so.
the further we get away from
Yeah.
COVID, the more these are bouncing back, especially because
Right.
these
Yeah.
are big ways for publishers and stuff to
Yeah.
make money and
And-
have deals. And
I get to see you guys and the kids. Get
Yeah,
to
that'd be
see,
sweet.
Like,
yeah,
just
yeah,
you
it's
know.
going to be
Cameron
fun.
went to Grand Con with us last year.
Fucking loved it.
yeah, I know. You
I
love
think
that.
the girls feel cool, like they get to go to a game convention.
yeah,
I'm worried about them. Cameron would just sit and play with us all day.
of course he would. Yeah,
If it was
right.
just us and Cameron, we could play with
Well, that's
all
why
you guys.
I think that
Right.
this
The
might
girls,
be a
it's gonna
good
be
one
tricky.
to take them to, because like Grand Con, like you said, that's us literally sitting there morning to night playing games. They wouldn't enjoy that. I think this is a good mix
You're
of
right.
stuff
Yeah. You
can get
that
up and
it'll
walk.
be better
walk
for
around, like-
them. We can play some games, and then when they start getting bored of that, we go look around at stuff. Then when they get bored of that, we can sit down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or
So
you
like
can,
I think it'll
you can
work
like
out
split
okay.
off. Like if Ryan wants to take the girls and go walk around the hall, and you wanted to like play a game with Cameron or sit
Right.
down, you could do that.
For sure.
Yeah, because you're right. Because Grand Con is not. There's not a ton of like
There's
vendors.
nothing. There's a few, but yeah,
but
you're
not
right.
something to, like,
You can
take
see
in.
all the vendors in 5 seconds, like 5 minutes. You walk through the vendors at Grand
Grand Con,
Con.
yeah. There's just like it's. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
Origins is a big convention. It's
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it a lot. Now that you told me
mean-
that 11,000 went last year, I'm looking forward to it even more.
Really?
Yeah, I like the big convention with not a ton of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm interested. And it's this Midwest thing where there's a lot of these West Coast ones that get, I'm sure, maybe obviously close to that. If Origins is second biggest, is that true?
I think so.
Are we making stuff up now too?
Probably.
Because
So
like
that's
what
what I
about
think
like
so.
PAX?
Well, PAX
and-
U
and
isn't
BGG?
technically a board game
That's true.
convention,
That's
right?
true. So
Well,
there's
what
other
about
things where people go to.
BGG?
Yeah, I mean, there's
BGG Con.
BGG, there's
And
Dice Tower,
and that Gateway to the
I
West or whatever.
Geekway to the West. No, I think
Okay.
Origins is bigger than all those.
Yeah.
That's
I would-
my.
I
What do you
would
think
agree
is
with
like
that.
the next biggest one? I want to look up how many.
I would say, let's see, Gen Con is 1. I'm going to say Origins is 2. PAX U is probably
Yeah,
close.
That's the
But again,
Pennsylvania one?
but is PAX U? I don't think that's all only board games because PAX convention is video games.
right. So
thing.
maybe it's more.
PAX U is
Yeah.
unplugged, so it's supposed to be like board, but it's not like a board game convention necessarily like a Gen Con. I
Right.
think there's still more focus on. I could be wrong. I've never fucking been there, so I'm just talking
Yeah.
out my. I'm
Maybe
talking
that'll
out
be the
my.
next
I'm
one.
talking
Maybe
about
Maybe
my
Origins.
origins.
That'll be the next one, maybe,
Maybe we
because that
won't
one's
count
close
that
too.
one.
Yeah, PAX
I don't
U's
know if
close
I'll
as well.
ever- We're ever going to get over and do any of the West Coast ones. I don't know.
I don't think so.
we're- again,
We'd have
we're a
to.
little
We'd have to
spoiled
like. Yeah, we
that
are.
we're
There's
so
a lot
close.
close to us for sure.
And I'm even like, there's like a tiny part of me that's, no one else hopes this, but like, what if Gen Con ended up in Detroit one year.
Could that happen? Will they come to Kobo?
Like Kobo could hold
They come
it.
to
Yeah,
Kobo?
because they were talking
In
about
terms of
it
square
moving
footage,
from
it's just as big
Indy.
as the convention center. So it
Wow.
would go to Kobo. But I'm like, that would be so sweet.
That would be awesome.
Would we like Airbnb or at my house?
Yeah, you're like slightly more prone to getting stabbed, but
Sure.
I think it's worth it for the proximity.
Yeah. Well, Kobo, that's a good,
It's not a terrible area.
Yeah.
So what else are you guys up to then?
Oh yeah, BGGCon 2022, so not this year.
Mm-hmm.
Only had 2,600 gamers.
Man,
That's pretty
Nerdfest is
small.
going to be
Well, I mean, board
Bigger
gamers.
than
There's
that.
not a ton of us. You know, there's not a ton of
and
board
honestly,
gamers.
we're
I know, but
focused in
there's
the
a lot
Midwest.
of like people.
Yeah.
Where a
who-
lot of people are.
a lot of people like know about that one. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Origins
Or
is,
do we
Origins
just
is
know
too.
about it
BGG is the
because we're
biggest
in the
one.
hobby?
Well, BGG is. I mean, but that's what Texas. I think
I think so.
think so.
One of,
that's a
one of
little
the big
bit more
ones is
difficult
Texas.
for the country to get to. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You know,
think actually, and then in 2019 it was like 3,600. So
Yeah. So
I think
It's still
Nerdfest
it's
might
pretty
pass.
small.
Nerdfest is going to get bigger than those.
Nerdfest is going to pass.
we had
them.
like 300 people. So
we did not.
we had like 400 people.
No.
like
We had like 500 people.
I think we had 200.
I would say at the most 200.
There was 600 people.
I think 700 to 800 people.
We
were there.
almost ran out of badges.
Lights.
But then I was wrong. We found some more. So
Oh, what are you guys? Are you guys watching any shows? Or
yes,
what hobbies are you guys partaking
Okay.
in other than board games?
watching a new show that you're gonna be like, hey, is this other show that we've already watched before? Because we always talk about the fact that these things come out seem like in bunches. So this
Yep.
show on Peacock. Uh-oh. Natalie
go
gonna
ahead.
tell me something. The show on Peacock
She's got one too.
I thought that you were
is
going to say
called
something.
Based on a True Story.
Wait, the show is called Based on a
The
True
show
Story?
is called Based on a True Story.
Okay.
Okay.
Not actually based on a true story. It's not a true
Okay.
story, but the show is called Based on a True Story.
Got it.
It has Kaylee Cuoco in it, so that's a win.
Oh yeah, she was pregnant in this one. Right?
I think she's actually pregnant
Yeah.
in
In
real life.
IRL.
Yeah,
She
so I
was
don't-
pregnant in real
the-
life
the-
when they filmed this.
Yes, the baby is
And
not
she's
like it's like a
pregnant.
part of the. It's not about having a baby, but like she's just pregnant.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this guy Chris Messina, who you would know if you looked at his face.
Did you say Christmas Ina?
Yes, Chris
Messina.
Messina.
Oh, Christmas Ina.
If you saw this dude's face, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that guy," and then I'd be
followed-
like, "What's he in?" And you'd be like, "I don't know."
I don't fucking know, but
Yeah,
I know
but
this
you would
guy.
I
know.
haven't seen this, but I follow
Christmas
Kaylee Cuoco
Ina.
on Instagram,
Christmas
and
Ina.
I've seen her like promote this.
Yeah, like you've seen that guy.
show.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay, what's he in?
No
Don't look.
fucking clue.
Exactly, but you've seen the guy.
He looks,
He's one
to
of
me, he
those.
looks like he's like a tough guy. Wait, was he
Oh,
in?
Mr. Tough Guy.
Is he the guy in? Nope, that's not him.
Nope. See, I
Nope,
knew.
fucking
Yeah.
don't know.
But he's got that face. Like you
Oh,
know
I've seen him a million times.
Yeah. So he's been in a lot of things.
My
But
dreams.
so the two of them are married in the show, and this is it's about a true crime podcast, and it's not called Only Murders in the Building. Okay, so they get entangled up into kind of a true crime podcast situation.
Oh, I saw a preview for this.
I'm liking it so far. It feels like Only Murders in the Building, where it's kind of funny. Like it's not a very serious.
Is it similar
dramatic.
to her other show, The Flight Attendant?
She can play a similar role.
Well, so are they going to write the baby into the show?
The baby, she's just pregnant. Probably not. It might be a one.
Well, I mean, would
and
that be
done thing.
weird if next season she's not pregnant and there's no baby?
Well, there'll be a baby.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So they're going to write
I-
the baby into the show.
Probably.
Yeah,
I don't
not
even
her
know if
real
there's going to be
baby.
a second season. This might be a one and done. Her
I don't
real.
mean they're going to write the. All right, the birth is happening in
Yeah.
the show. Here we're going.
I don't know if there's going to be a season 2. It might be a one and done
Gotcha.
miniseries type of thing.
Yeah, I'm watching a lot of those lately.
I don't want to like spoil a whole lot because I don't. We've watched almost the whole thing. It's what's nice. It's only 30 minutes. There's like 8 episodes.
Ooh.
You can cruise through
If
it.
it's a mini series, then yeah,
whip through
you
it.
probably know a ton already. So yeah, anything you
so
say
I don't
would
know
spoil.
where it is, but the two of them are married and they get involved in this true crime podcasty murder type of thing that's going on.
Okay.
Very Only Murders in the Building.
Compare it
type
to
thing.
Only Murders in the Building.
Only Murders in the Building is better. It's a better show. It's probably funnier.
Yeah.
I think Only Murders in the Building is, and I think that's because I like Steve Martin.
Yeah, I was
think
like,
I think
Steve
the two of them are
Martin's in it.
like
How can you
wittier
compare?
together.
And Martin Short.
But the two of them, Kaylee Cuoco and
Oh, I
Chris
forgot
Messina,
about
have
her
like they have a
already.
good dynamic. They're married in the show, and they're kind of funny back and forth a little bit.
Okay.
But Only Murders in the Building is better. But this is like kind of fun to watch. I'm glad it's only 30 minutes. It's easy.
All right,
Like
Jeff.
yeah,
Kaylee Cuoco or
Okay.
Selena Gomez?
Easy.
I asked Jeff.
Jeff has these two people on his like top couple list.
Oh, he
here.
does?
Yeah,
Oh.
Kaylee Cuoco,
She's really pretty.
especially like early Big Bang Theory. Kaylee Cuoco.
Yes.
That's tough.
Natalie, you said it's easy. That means Kaylee Cuoco.
That means Kaylee
Yeah.
Cuoco. But
Yes.
All these fucking Selena Gomez
know.
haters.
Gosh. Man,
She's so
if you had asked me
voluptuous.
like 10 years
I don't hate her,
ago, I would have
but-
You would say
probably
Kaylee
say Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
But Selena
Back
Gomez-
then, like you said, at the start of Big Bang Theory, or right at the end of 8 Simple Rules, she
Yeah.
was like, she's like, I'm not going to say this in front of Natalie. She was a
She's what
decently, modestly attractive
she's-
young lady.
She was okay. But Selena Gomez.
When do you
has-
ever have trouble saying that in front of me?
She was hot as fuck.
She's a riser.
I was like, oh my God, she's hot as fuck. That was the whole reason at first. Like, I watched The Big Bang Theory when it first came out because of her.
Because of her.
And then the
Yeah.
show won me over. I think it's hilarious. I love that show.
Yeah.
But I was just like, fuck yeah, Kaylee Cuoco. And she's like,
I don't know if
always
I
hot
can
in
pick.
this.
I'll think about it throughout the
Okay, yeah,
throughout the
like
show.
we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you.
Everybody wants to know.
We're watching a show I think you're gonna love.
Can't wait.
It's called Natalie. What's it called?
Write it down.
A Crowded Room on
A-
Apple TV.
Crowded.
Apple
Room.
TV has
Apple
got
Plus, whatever it's
some
called.
bangers on
Yeah.
it,
And no
Some
one knows about
absolute
them.
fucking
into the
bangers.
room.
And no one has Apple TV.
I know.
Really? Oh.
It's crazy
Well,
though.
people-
People
watch
just
Ted
watch it for
Lasso.
Ted Lasso and then they cancel it, I feel like.
No,
Well-
man, there's some good shows. It has Shrinking, which
I know. I watched them all.
loved.
Go through them, Natalie. What else we got?
Shrinking, Ted Lasso.
Yep.
The Morning Show, which I
Silo.
enjoy. Silo.
You guys are missing the biggest
Yep.
one, I think.
Severance
There it
is
is.
my
Severance,
favorite.
yes. I was like, I
was
know
the patient. Was the patient on Apple TV?
No, that was
that
it.
was-
I know. I fucking know. And then this one,
You said it first.
A Crowded Room. No,
Okay.
A Crowded Space.
A Crowded Room.
Crowded Room.
The Crowded
with Tom Holland.
Room.
Okay, just one crowded room.
A Crowded Room.
There's
Yeah,
only
it's not
like
a proper crowded room. It's just one.
It's
of
just
them.
one. There's
Yeah,
only
it's not
one.
like the. It's not the.
It
crowded
isn't the
room.
most crowded of the rooms. There just happens to be a
Yeah,
crowded room
It's
in
just
it.
a crowded. Is that a crowded room?
We
Yeah, it
haven't
is.
even seen this crowded room yet.
Oh man.
yeah, I don't even know what. It's
So
called.
Tom Holland, or do you want to talk about it, Natalie?
Oh, I don't care. It's a psychological
Okay,
thriller with
I don't
Tom
care. Here I go.
Holland.
Okay.
And it's a miniseries. And it has Amanda Seyfried. And there's only like 3
And-
episodes out, I think.
I like those things. I like all those
I don't
things
know.
you're saying.
I don't really want to like
All right,
say
I'm
anything
going to talk about it. I'm going to talk. I'm not going to spoil any of it. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm going to say more than you said.
Okay,
You're
fine.
just like it's Tom Holland and Amanda
I said it's a
Seyfried.
psychological
and-
thriller.
Okay.
That's true. She said
So
psychological.
Tom Holland has this really, really ugly hair in it. It's
Well,
in
it
this,
takes place in the
God damn
70s.
it! Let me do it.
Oh man.
Let me do it. Let me do it. It takes place in the 70s.
Okay.
and
Do it.
and
Where people had ugly hair. Okay.
and so it like she said, it's psychological thrillery. It starts off and you don't really know what the fuck's happening, but Tom Holland is like on this subway, all right, and it's really like dark and kind of like brooding, and he's holding something in his hand
In like a paper
Penis.
bag.
that may or may not be his penis. May or may not be. And then he
His Spider-Man
basically
costume.
Yeah, he basically gets off of the subway with this girl. And she's basically like, I'm gonna go around back
Sounds
and
hot.
I'm gonna go around back and scare and flush him out towards you, and then you do it. And he's like, okay. And she's like, can you do this? And he's like, yes.
I can.
And he's really, if you know Tom Holland, in all the movies he's in, he's like this like
He's
really
goofy-
energetic,
yeah, he's goofy teenager
really
guy.
goofy teenager guy.
Yeah.
And this, he is very serious, brooding, kind of dorky.
I actually read that he took a year off acting after this show.
Has it
for,
even
like,
been a year?
mental health reasons. He said it's been 8 months.
It's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No, he said it's been
I'm
8
going to
months
take
since
1
he
year off.
stopped recording.
It's been 8
so
months
his
since.
year is almost up, but like,
It's almost up. Get
but
back
like
to work.
he needed like a mental health break after doing the show.
So the girl,
Oh, must be
the
nice.
girl like flushes this guy towards him, and then he like reveals that he's holding a gun, and he kind of like points it at the guy, and that's all I'm going to tell you guys. That's all I'm going to say.
You know, I wish that after like a rough year like of teaching, that I could just be
You could just be like,
don't
I'm
worry,
gonna
I
take
have
him."
enough money now that I can just take an entire year off to focus
Yeah.
on me.
Wouldn't
Well,
that be nice?
Jeff-
Poor Tom.
Spider-Man is more important than the children of America.
Poor Tom
You know,
Holland.
don't you know?
I do like that guy though. He's good.
I know.
I like him too.
Yeah.
I think
He's
he's the
very
best. I think he's the
likable.
best Spider-Man to ever Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Is that a hot
Yeah,
take?
no, I agree.
No.
Do you think most people would
You
say
think
Tobey
Andrew
Maguire?
No,
Garfield?
I think people would say, I think people are living in the new. But Tobey Maguire was good.
I like Tobey Maguire, but,
I like
were all
Tobey
good.
Maguire.
but when I saw Tom Holland play it, I was like, he was born for this
Yeah, he
fucking
gets it.
role.
Yeah.
And the movies are just better.
so
I think that's
charming.
how-
Good. You're right. They do.
The first Spider-Man with, what was that guy? Just the first dude.
Oh,
was Tobey Maguire.
Tobey
Tobey
Maguire.
Maguire, yeah.
Yeah.
That first one
I was like, is there
good.
somebody before him?
No, that first one was good. I really liked that original
Me too.
Spider-Man.
I think I liked the second one with Dr. Octopus. Did you
yeah.
see that one?
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was
That
good.
I think
Doc
was
Ock.
my favorite one until was Homecoming the first Tom Holland one?
That was maybe the second.
I don't know.
Well, when I
Maybe it
saw
was the
him
first
as
one.
Spider-Man, I didn't even see the Spider-Man movies. I
he
saw him
got it.
first
Oh,
in the
yeah,
Avengers.
me too.
And I was like, oh my
You're like, ooh, I
God,
like
this
this
is
guy.
great.
Yeah.
That's what Spider-Man should be.
Yeah.
He fits it.
He does.
I don't even know if I ever saw the Andrew Garfield one,
I didn't either. I've heard it was
but
not great.
I liked him in the one with all of them.
Whoa.
Yeah. Did you see the one with all of them?
Spoilers.
Doctor Strange?
No, dude, that's Doctor Strange. Yeah, well, I know, but
They're
I
all
know
in,
that
they're all
yeah, I
in
know.
that.
Oh my God, that one was so good.
That's a great movie. Anyway, Crowded Room.
Crowded Room. I'll watch
Crowded
it.
Room is very good.
It's a show that I think you're gonna love it personally.
I'm in.
Yeah.
It gave me the Patient vibes, even though
that.
it's nothing like the Patient, but it has the vibes. Like it's that same
just
kind of
like,
like
"What's going
Yeah.
on?"
serious, dark. Like oh my
Yeah.
gosh, what's gonna happen
Actor
next?
playing out of character, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
It's very similar in that
in.
kind of way.
Natalie tells me to watch something. I just watch it.
Yeah, right. That's what we do.
She said, watch Shrinking. I said, okay, I'm going to watch it.
Here I'll go.
Came back
I'll
and
watch it. You like it?
Yes, she
that
hurts me
show.
otherwise.
Anything else going on, guys?
School's out.
Yeah, that's great.
Summer.
Yeah, summer vacation. That's great. It's
You're
amazing.
happy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this was like the worst teaching year I've ever had.
Why?
So I'm glad it's done.
Just the kids were fucks.
That was part of it. Yeah, that was part of it. It's just duds.
Just a bunch of duds.
Just needed that
Not
to
a
go.
good one in the bunch.
Just needed to go away
Stupid
from me.
fucking duds.
Just needed to go away.
Get out of here.
And just stuff. There's some stuff
probably
with like
just over
admin, just
it.
like stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, everybody needed to be
Away from you.
Yes, just go away.
Get away for a
Yeah.
while.
Hey, Mr. Madigan, are you going to miss us? No.
No.
But goodbye.
Get out of here.
Goodbye.
Have fun. See
Yeah.
you next year.
Fuck off.
Devin has taken a new job.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Talk about that a little bit.
So she is moving schools. I won't really say like.
Everybody- she's a teacher too, just in
She's
case.
a teacher too.
She's
so
a teacher too.
I don't know. So she's moving to a district that's
Good one.
closer, which is pretty cool. It kind of cuts her drive in half, if
That's
not a little
awesome.
more than half. So
Good.
she was usually driving about 35 minutes. She's down to probably 20, 15 to 20 minutes, which is
A
great.
big difference.
She'll be teaching first grade next year. She just figured out. She went and visited her new school today and kind of walked through and got to meet the principal and one of her teaching partners because they just got out of school.
Wow, she hadn't met the
yesterday.
principal. She took the job. And
Well, she met her in an interview. So
Got
she
it.
was in the
Yeah,
interview
yeah.
process, but this was like a more formal like meeting, walk around the building, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So she's very excited.
can you imagine the principal's like, this is Devin? I thought it was a man.
Yeah, what?
Oh my gosh.
So she's so excited to kind of make this sort of different move and
That's
new,
awesome.
Good for her.
Good for
Yeah,
her.
so
Good
I'm,
for
I'm
her.
excited for her and ready to move her entire classroom that's sitting in my garage into.
Oh,
it's like half the garage. There's so
Wow.
much shit.
It's so
Well,
ridiculous
it's probably
how
different for like teaching little kids. You got to have more like
She
stuff.
has everything.
not only do teachers not get paid as much as Tom Holland, they also have to basically buy everything themselves for the class.
Yeah, and then you move it from place to
Did you know
place.
that, Jeff? Did you know that
I
teachers
did.
have to
Yeah,
buy
I
their own
think so.
supplies? I don't
Yeah,
know if
did.
you knew.
I did.
don't know
Don't
if
worry,
they
you can
told
write off like $200 on your tax form. So it's
a write-off.
You just write it off.
It's a right. What do you? Who?
You just
Who writes
write
it off?
You just write it off.
You write it off. What?
You just write it off on your taxes. You write it off.
You don't even know what a write off is. Do you? No.
Yeah, no.
when we were driving the kids to the school on the very last day of school this week, we played "School's Out for Summer," by Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
That was by?
I do know that.
And we were like playing it. Me and Ryan were like singing it, and the kids were just sitting there silently. And then as soon as it was over, they're like, "Can you play this song from High School Musical?"
Ugh.
And
The
you're
one
like,
about
get out of
school
the
being
car.
out, and we were just like, "Fine."
Walk.
Well, like, I mean, what are we? We don't. What was I expecting? I was like, isn't this catchy, guys?
In my head, I'm like, "Oh, it's like perfect like lyrics for like school's
But,
out."
Not
but
to
for
them.
them, okay, that was the 70s,
Yeah, not to them.
right? For
You
us,
basically
the
better be-
70s is only 20.
You may as
10
well
to 20
talk
years
about the
before we were
Civil
born.
War.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, exactly.
But
Man,
they like other old songs. You play them like
that's true. I
Paul
do play
Simon
them.
songs.
Yeah, they
and
love
they
Paul
love
Simon.
those.
True. They just didn't fucking like it. Maybe it sucks. Maybe we were thinking it was good this whole
Dumb.
time, our whole lives, and it blows.
Dumb song.
So real quick, before we get into the games of the episode, I wanted to talk very quickly about this product that I got from Modern Meeple.
Modern meeple. So like a new aged meeple.
Yes, like,
Modern. Or
not
like
an-
in
it's
the
not
time.
an antiquated.
So what is modern meeple? Is it what is it?
That's the company name.
Modern
company
Meeple is the company.
Yeah.
And they make these board game component trays. And they are maybe the highest quality board game
Oh,
component
it's
trays I've
very
ever
nice.
seen.
Gorgeous. I don't know what the hell they're even made of. What is that?
It's not just straight up wood.
It's not wood.
Like
Is it-
I love wood. Like
Yeah, I guess
wooden.
you're right. It doesn't. It looks like wood, but it also doesn't.
Like wooden component trays are really cool. Like I have plastic holder shit, like those, whatever. Those are just functional. And you have those like magnetic hexes that are the wooden. Like
those are great too.
Those are great. This is a different material that is just like cool. I don't know what it is, but it's cool.
like fiberglass. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's asbestos.
It's pure asbestos.
Anyway, it comes on this thing. It's a Lazy Susan, but they call it the Gamey Susan.
Oh.
Okay. And the component trays sit on this Gamey Susan.
Okay.
That you can then spin around to get your components much easier.
Yeah.
A lot of times we have a bunch of different component trays like Jeff was just talking about, and sometimes if there's not enough of them, they are on the other side of the table from me.
Yeah, and you're reaching.
And so they're like really, organized and everything, but it's still kind of a pain in the ass to get them.
Yeah.
This Gamey Susan eliminates all of that by it's like, hey, just turn the fucking Susan towards me.
Turn the damn Susan.
If you don't have enough table space for the damn Susan, you can just take the fucking component trays out of the
it's a cool
Susan.
idea.
And they're like separate.
And they're
little
separated.
trays.
And you can get these things in a million different like shapes and that's not true. You can get these in like a million different that's not true either. You can get these in a million different forms and functions.
You can get them in a couple.
So
Yeah,
they're
some
hexes.
options.
They're hex shaped.
Yep.
But you can get like they can be divided. You know what I mean? So there's like
okay.
two.
The hex is two.
So like,
Yeah.
because like each
You can
hex
get 'em in, like,
is
a
kind of big,
3-pack
so
or
maybe
5.
like you can get the hex divided. So like one
Hex might have
has
3 little
2
things in it.
Okay, yeah.
Which would be really cool because the one thing I'll say is these are large.
The one that we got. Yeah.
We have the Gamey Susan Mini. All right, and it's only 3
'Cause you have 3.
of
Okay.
these things, but
But
it's,
the trays
the
are not
trays
mini.
themselves
They're
are
big.
enormous.
Yeah.
and so even on the little Gamey Susan Mini, it's a lot of space.
Oh yeah.
So if it's just Natalie and I playing, it's perfect. But what I would love to do is buy some more of these things that, like you said, Natalie, they're one hex and they split into a couple different things. So we could still have 3 actual pieces in
You
our
could have
Gamey
more than
Susan,
3
but it's more than 3 component
Yeah.
things to do. And they're so big, they fit them all. And you can buy them on the modernmeeple.com /store. The single trays, they're like $15 each. This is expensive. If you're to get all of them, it's like $200 for like all of them.
Like
but
all
you
the
get
colors or-
get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
dozen.
9, 10, 11, 12. It's like 15. You get like 15 of these big fucking things. If you're to get the Gamey Susan Mini with the actual Lazy Susan, it's like $75. And you get those 3 trays.
Okay.
All right. The actual Gamey Susan comes with looks like 7 component trays and it's $70.
It is
Okay.
really nice.
But you
Probably
can
would
get
be
more.
a good like gift or something.
Oh my gosh. So it's premium quality.
Yeah, it is. It looks really nice.
Man, is it cool. And there's other stuff that you can get on the website, on Modern People's website. And I'm really excited. We've used them once. We just played a game the other day and we used it and it was great to spin them around. I didn't think that was something I needed in my component organization.
But it was like so
It was
convenient.
opulent.
I like. So we have a lot between us. We have a lot of board games.
Yeah, I would say
And
so.
the lull before all these conventions is real. There's not been a ton of like brand new games coming out the last few months because they wait. And I've been more intrigued with like
Stuff.
the accessories,
adjacent
Yeah.
the
stuff.
adjacent stuff,
Yeah.
like that filler thing that I was talking about a couple episodes ago,
Yes.
last episode ago.
That looks
which is
cool.
like
How's your
crazy
small
funded and been
box
doing great.
game?
But it's like
Yeah.
Are you getting
all
that?
this stuff? I think so.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I kinda want it too.
This stuff is cool. I'm like, these people are smart and figure out these cool designs and
Why don't I do that? Fuck. I could do that. I won't.
why am I so
Why
stupid?
don't I?
Well, it's cool, too,
I'm so
'cause, like-
lazy.
I'm so stupid.
I do nothing. I just
Well,
sit
this
there.
is like
I need a year off.
Most of the time, I just fucking sit there.
Think about it. If you create a game,
Okay.
I don't even do that. I just
it's
sit
already
there.
like
so
a niche
stupid.
hobby.
Why am I even here?
And then you create one game, and then even a smaller portion of the people in the hobby are gonna like that game. But if you create like some thing like this, like a tray, everyone might buy
uses
that.
it. God,
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
God, I'm so stupid.
This is the wake up call that I need that I will not listen to.
I will not listen to this.
Jeff, you been playing games, man?
Yeah. Yep. Devin and I last night played another game of Ark Nova.
I saw that.
I saw that.
So
If
good.
you know, you know.
There were no we got this expansion pack with elephants.
I knew it was an
Can you
expansion.
believe it?
Expansion
I knew
pack?
it. Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
expansion.
One
Yeah.
of the cards,
No.
Natalie,
Yeah.
I passed up on was this fake fucking animal called a red panda.
I've never heard of that.
I got it in my opening hand, and I was like, I'm putting this
You're
away.
like,
this isn't
this
even
is not
fucking real.
real.
Where is this game
Who
even made?
knows
Is this
of a
on
red
Mars?
panda?
Absurd.
Well, it's red, so-
Red planet, red panda. It's pretty much the
Pandas
same
only
thing.
exist on Mars.
So, man, the game is so good. We played with some
a
other
great
unique
game.
boards, like different power boards,
Yeah.
which is cool. Man,
We've done that once. What was the power board you used? Do you remember?
I had,
Of course you do. It was just yesterday.
it's called Research. Maybe Devin had the Research one. I don't know what it's called. I had the outdoor something or another. I had a spot in the middle of my board that had a door on it, and any enclosure that I put next to that one. So it was connected to water, so there was like 4 adjacent spots. All of those enclosures counted as +2 in size.
Ooh.
So that was cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
And Devin had the one where as soon as you build next to this spot, it then allows you to have one less requirement when you're building animals.
Oh, that's cool.
Building animals, buying animals.
Yeah, no, it does feel like you're building
so
them.
instead of like it costing 12, it can cost 11. Or if it needs to go in a 4 enclosure, it can go in a 3 enclosure instead. So you can choose what to reduce it.
It's a great game. Number 4 of all time on BGG.
Good. Are you? I think I'm gonna get the. I want the.
Suddenly you were just like, "Are you dumb?"
Yeah, are you dumb?
Yeah,
I'm dumb. I already said that.
I am very dumb.
Are you dumb?
I
so
think
dumb.
I'm gonna pre-order the Marine.
I did already.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
Yeah.
What?
I played it. And I
There's
was like,
the new
I gotta do
Ark
it.
Nova in the aquarium.
Oh, okay.
Natalie
In the
not
aquarium.
paying attention to anything. Here's what's happening.
Nothing.
Ryan and I are talking about Ark Nova. Natalie's on her phone,
Yep.
scrolling through something.
Yep.
Ryan said he's going to buy
It's for
something.
the show.
And
She
Natalie
wasn't
perks
typing.
up. What did you just
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
say? What did you just say? You just said you're going to buy something.
Did you
what?
see in the Discord the other day?
Yesterday.
Mr. Measles posted
few hours
something
Just now.
and then like I was responding to
And he's like,
it.
"Oh God, Natalie's typing."
God.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I got panicked when I saw Natalie typing," and I was like, "That's great." You're like,
Because it just
He's like, he's like, then I remember real quick. Oh yeah, that's right. She doesn't
it's just
have
Ryan.
control over me.
Yeah, she perked up when you said I already backed
Yeah,
up.
of
What? You
course.
did what?
You bought what now?
You did what?
Money spent? Excuse me.
Okay, we have been
By the way, I'm
playing
going golfing tomorrow.
some games though.
it's for Father's Day
What have you been playing? She's going golfing for my.
Natalie.
for my father,
Happy Father's Day, Natalie.
not for you.
Oh,
For you,
not
I did
for
something
you.
else special.
Oh, boy.
I'm finally getting
It's the
sex.
table. We're gonna do it on the table. Move the computer. Move everything.
We're gonna play
Jeff, you
Pit
stay if you
first.
want.
Pit first, and then
It's
you're
happening.
inviting some friends over for a night of raucous
That's
fun.
Selena Gomez sex doll finally showed up.
Oh, the freaks and geeks.
The freaks
Yeah, we
and
know.
geeks.
Remember they were playing Pit?
Yeah.
And he's like,
It's
"Wanna
a
have-
terrible
go
game
have
with 2
some
players.
sex?"
A little sex.
Yeah.
So that's how you're gonna do it. You want to have a little sex?
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. A little, just a little.
little.
Just have a little
Little
sex
bit,
with me.
Okay, I played a game. This game is called Ierusalem.
Jerusalem.
Anno Domini. Okay? Ierusalem is spelled like Jerusalem with an I.
Jerusalem.
Okay.
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. Jerusalem. We all Jerusalem. Jerusalem. Don't say Jerusalem. Just Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. That kind of sounds. I don't know why, but that kind of sounds like.
Yeah, I don't like the way
I
that
don't like the way that sounds coming out of your mouth.
I don't like it.
That's a little. I'm gonna have to cut that out.
So for
What do you mean?
probably the
kinda
rest
sounds
of this,
bad.
I'm going to call it Jerusalem.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Jerusalem is Latin.
Is it like Jesus, Jerusalem?
You're gonna get us demonetized.
Oh
We're not monetized,
We're
but
on-
you're gonna.
We're
Like,
canceled.
We are fucking
Thanks,
canceled.
Thanks, Natalie.
All right, Jerusalem.
oh my gosh.
City.
Jerusalem,
Yes.
Jerusalem. I'll say it both ways. Just go with it, okay?
Jerusalem, okay.
Let's talk about religion because that doesn't make people feel uncomfortable.
This is what's going to get us
And
demonetized.
let's make a board game about religion.
Sounds
right?
perfect.
So,
What could go wrong?
yeah, this is a new game from Devere. Big box game. Man, Devere.
They're really stepping out into the
Every time I
spotlight
hear
here.
DeVere, I just think of slugs.
Silk. They're worms.
God, is Natalie drinking?
They're
What's in
fucking
that?
worms.
She's not even drinking.
Did you get her a Mountain Dew Slurpee?
No.
No.
What is wrong
Regular
with her?
old Coke.
Regular old Coke.
Right in my veins.
Coca-Cola
I'll tell you,
Classic.
Oh, it is.
I'll
Isn't
tell
it
you
a
what's going
syringe full
on.
of
We ate Chinese food, and I was so full, and I was extremely uncomfortable, and I'm starting to feel normal, and I'm very happy that I feel back to normal.
She's been gassing it
Oh
out.
my God. She's
I'm
been
not
over there
gassing it
farting.
out.
It's like that
I
scene.
just
It's
don't
like
feel
that
like
scene in Willy Wonka
uncomfortably
when they're
full.
the gas on them and they're floating and they're
Yeah.
like, just burp, and then they feel better.
So the happier she get,
Yep, Natalie's butt
keeps
does the same thing.
tootin'. Oh, Natalie. This
Yeah,
game's
exactly.
called Jerusalem. There's a colon. Anno Domini. Okay?
Natalie's
Whatever.
got a colon. too.
Okay, now keep in mind, I know nothing about
Jerusalem.
religion, Jerusalem. I'm just going to go with what I know about
Judaism.
this thing. Natalie. What is in that cup? What was in that Chinese food?
Yeah, the Chinese food.
Bourbon
MSG does
chicken,
this to her,
maybe
I
there's
guess.
actual bourbon in it.
Man, oh man. So, Devere Games, this is also from a new designer, a nobody, Carmen Jimenez.
Is
that
this
a
a
boy?
boy?
No.
It's a lady.
Female designer shout out.
Nice
I
job,
think-
Carmen.
Yeah. Natalie is drunk.
She's drunk as
Carmen
fuck.
Sandiego.
What is happening?
I don't know. She's drunk.
So shout out to her. I think she has a future in the industry.
It's her first design?
First design.
Wow,
and
and
this,
you-
That's
and this is
awesome.
like a heavier like game.
Yeah.
Devere picking it up. This is a good thing. Whatever. Okay. In Jerusalem, players represent a community of followers of Jesus. Okay. Who are
Yep.
coming to Jerusalem to best position themselves at the Last Supper table.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Okay.
So you are kind of in charge of these followers. These followers are making their way to Jerusalem and hopefully making their way to the Last Supper table. Does that kind of make some sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want
For
to be
sure.
the first to sit next to Jesus?
You want to be the closest to Jesus.
Really?
So-
Wasn't the guy that betrayed Jesus there?
Yeah. Judas.
Judas.
Yeah. So Judas is one of the apostles that you play.
Oh.
That you'll actually get to play. You're not that person, but he actually loses you 5 points if you're near him.
Oh, I'll bet.
Because he's a fucking Judas.
yeah.
Okay? So
Brad almost knocked his headphones
I
out.
almost sprayed the microphone with my hot, wet semen.
what? Oh, God. We're talking about Jesus.
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 No, seriously, you almost made me spit out my drink.
Okay, so the board is broken down into a few areas. It's very like Euro-y kind of game board. There's a few locations where followers will be sent, a place where you can get parable tokens. You know what a parable is?
Nope.
Okay, see, these are things I learned because I don't know nothing
I don't know
about
anything
nothing.
I know
about
management
religion.
I know nothing
I'm
about
not a
nothing. What's a
religion.
management?
Isn't that where
person.
you're just like you're taking something and you're like equating it to something in business? Like we're gonna go hiking and then
could
I'm gonna
be-
compare it to
Yeah,
this
this could
business
be
thing.
this could be like this.
Parable.
This is like teachings of faith and religion and teachings of it, like comparing maybe what you're doing to teaching.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you looking it up?
A simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson is told by Jesus in the Gospels.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
Boom.
So
So there's a place where all these parable tokens are. There's some cards in the middle, and then the main thing in the middle of the board is the Last Supper table with a bunch of spots, kind of like a grid. So the table is in the middle. Jesus is sitting in the middle.
Yep, middle of the table.
And there are spots above and below kind of the table. So imagine like literally you're at a table and it's two-sided.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
there are spots for all of your followers to go to this Last Supper.
Go to it.
Mechanisms, it's got a little bit of deck building. It's got hand management, all with area majority in that and almost area positioning kind of. Majority and positioning of the Last Supper.
Ooh, area
table-y
positioning. I
thing.
haven't heard that yet.
I just made that up right
like
now.
it.
It's not even on my paper.
Damn.
Look at me
right
go.
off the brain.
Oh my God.
Catching.
Yeah, we're there.
it's
Okay.
catching.
We're in for it now.
On your turn, Natalie, what you do, players, you choose a card from your hand, just like deck building, and you play it to one of 3 spots in your player board. It's not dual layered. It doesn't need to be. But if
So
you
it's
could
nice.
have
It'd
it,
be nice.
You could have it. You
I would
should.
do it.
But this doesn't necessarily. I wasn't deterred by this. I wasn't angered. And then once you play the card in front of you in one of those 3 spots, you activate the card that has actions on it.
Okay.
Okay. The actions allow you to do things like take followers from your player board and add them to the different locations. That helps you get more resources to do all this other stuff. You can listen to those parables, which is like a set collecting kind of thing. You collect more of them, you get more points. You can do a favor, which means that you can give someone else at the table something good for you to then get a cool card that lets you do more actions, right? Which is kind of like weird in a Euro game. It's like the opposite of take that. It's like here's this.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
The opposite of take
here
that
is
is
something
here's
good.
this.
Like I'm
Yeah.
giving Ryan resources so I can then take something good, but Ryan's now getting resources. That feels like shit. I don't want to do that.
Right.
But you're supposed to be all holy.
It's supposed to be giving.
Like Devin filling up
generous.
tires and fixing windows.
Yeah, that's it. And the thing that you need to be doing for as much of the game as you can is sending your followers to the Last Supper. This is
Oh.
going to get you big points at the end of the game. Okay, you want to be closer to Jesus. You want to be closer to the apostles. You want to be closer to the front of the table. You want to be sitting at the table. You can be like behind them and earn some points too, but you want to be up
Okay.
front,
In the picture.
hanging with G's, just chilling.
Jeez.
See,
Okay,
they called him that.
so maybe.
What up, Big J?
What up, Jay dog? All these cards have symbols on them that if they're played in a specific order on your player board, it'll allow you to bring these Aeropostals.
Is that why they named it that?
Aeropastel.
Is that why they named it Aeropastel?
They were trying to spell apostle and they were like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
Is it
they're like,
this?
Aero-
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Let's make it.
So you can bring these apostles to the supper, which causes some variety of effects to happen. Scoring, it helps with positioning, and you basically want to put them in the row or column, depending on where you're sitting on the board, to where your people are, because that'll then get you more points. Because you're essentially what that indicates is you're bringing them to the Last Supper,
The potty.
right? Players get points basically for playing proper sets of cards. You get scoring rounds throughout the game, as well as at the end of the game getting a bunch of points for your positioning at the table. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about Jerusalem.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah, Jerusalem. Natalie.
Was that the Last Supper before?
Yeah, DED.
Jesus did.
That's why they call it the Last Supper.
Okay, just
I think, right? And then
I know it's called that, but I didn't know if like it was actually.
I would
their
assume
Last
that's why.
Supper.
That's where Judas turns on him.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be, but they call it the Last Supper because that's when shit went down.
Yeah, so he didn't know.
He was like,
he was like,
they didn't call it the Last Supper.
They were just like, let's go to supper.
Later called that.
Let's go to supper. And then Judas was like, this is gonna be your last one. What's that now? Nothing. Nothing. Let's sit down. Let's have some bread.
It's the supper.
Here we go. Supper.
Enjoy supper.
I made you this table.
It's like World War I was not called World War I.
When was the first table invented?
Right.
After eating on
Obviously, they had tables for a long time.
What?
Jesus had tables.
What did you just say about tables?
Like when was the first table invented?
Well,
Like how long
is a good branch.
How long have humans had? How long have humans had tables?
how long? Ask ChatGPT. How long have humans had tables? Who
Who else had
invented
tables
the
before
My name is
humans?
Richard Table.
Yeah, his table. The
You can
guy
call me
that invented
Dick Table.
table. You can call me Dick Table.
I feel like even
You should meet my
cavemen-
best friend, Jeremy Chair.
I feel like
hung out all
cavemen
the
probably
time.
had tables.
He's a good sitter. Yeah, what was invented first, Natalie? The table or the chair?
The age-old
table,
question.
the shout.
Come on,
chicken
don't
or
be
egg?
like that. Are you sure? All right, here we go. When
We're back.
was the table invented? The invention of tables can be traced back to ancient times, although the exact date of their invention is not known. Tables were likely created as early as the Neolithic period, around 5,000 to 2,500 BC.
Whoa.
When humans began to settle in permanent communities developed by Richard F. Tables.
Yes. Dick F. Tables.
Dick,
It
middle
really
name,
is flex name table?
yeah, Richard F. Tables.
Yep.
It doesn't say Dick. It doesn't
Natalie.
actually say Dick Tables, but it's Richard. Jeff was right. It's Richard Tables.
No,
Boom.
it's not.
No.
The F actually,
not.
it says the F stands for
Pastas,
furniture.
Richard Furniture Table.
We've
That's
nailed
why it's
it.
called Furniture
We're
and
off-
Table with one
we're off
person.
the
We
fucking
got
rails.
both names.
I blame
God.
Natalie drunk. I blame drunk,
where did
not
you
drunk
go?
Natalie.
Why did you just leave?
My phone was about to die.
That's okay. Continue.
Okay, hey, there is a lot that I liked about Ierusalem, Jerusalem.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. God. Why am I even here?
Sweet.
I'm already
Cool.
stupid. I
Okay.
don't invent anything, and now he's okay.
Yeah, God, we're lazy. I don't do,
God.
Jeff. I don't do anything.
That's the truth.
He likes it. All right.
Wow. What the fuck? She's seriously not drinking. I'm going to go get her a drink. I need to see the next level of this.
What the hell is wrong
We'll be
with
right
you?
back. Play that music again.
Kickstarter?
We're still live.
We are
The
live.
music
Didn't turn it
does
down.
not pause. No, the music doesn't
Do you
just
wanna kickstart?
automatically pause us.
You
Do you actually want me to pause us?
Back to Jerusalem. Or Jerusalem. Okay, let's go back to the beginning.
Holy shit.
Let's go back to the beginning. Jerusalem, let's talk about religion. No,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, what did you like about this game?
There was a lot that I liked. These mechanisms. So for Carmen Jimenez to make this game, I'm giving her mad props because there's a lot of like things going on. Deck building, hand management, this area majority, a little bit of set collecting, a little bit of worker placement, and it all works really seamlessly, I thought. I was
Okay.
like, there was never a moment where I was like, there was clunky, frustrating steps or anything like that, and I was like, this is good. And I didn't even know who designed this game. I was like, I looked it up right before the show, and I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
all right,
Oh, okay.
who is Carmen?
Who has done this?
Where is
in the
Carmen
world is
Sandiego?
Carmen Jimenez?
So I think she killed it with this first design. I'm hoping that
Good
next
for
things
her.
lift up.
That's
So
awesome.
Who in
card
the fuck
play,
is
the
Carmen?
card play is fun. I think that's where the game is played in this hand management. The card play, upgrading the cards to get better and more actions is rewarding. Reminds me of Lacrimosa a lot, which I liked.
Oh.
Gabi is listening, and Gabi, maybe you don't
Right now.
play this
We
game.
know he's listening.
Gabi hated Lacrimosa with a passion.
He hates a lot of games that we recommend.
Yeah,
Yes.
he hated Guild of Merchant Explorers
Yes.
Fuck.
too.
So
He was the one.
So maybe because I messaged him, I was talking to him, and
Just listen to us and chuckle
he
occasionally.
basically was like, "Thanks a lot, Jeff. I hated Lacrimosa," and I was like, "Okay, well, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I will tailor my reviews to Gabi. Gabi, you might not like this game.
We'll say that about all of them.
Yeah, you might not like. There's a lot of similarities in these two games with a little bit of area majority, just like in that the bottom of the. You haven't played Lacrimosa yet.
Nope.
No.
In the bottom, like the music sheet, there's some area majority in that. So there's a lot of similarities in the game. So Gabi, this might not be your
Is
game.
that also Devere?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yeah. I think there is a good balance in this game of long-term strategy, some tactical decisions that I thought made my turns like mean something.
Yeah.
Like when I got there, I didn't feel like a robot playing my turn, and I didn't feel like I had to like wait until it was my turn to make my decision. Right. So I thought that was a good.
I feel like there's a butt coming.
There will be. There will be a booty.
There's a booty. There's a booty coming. The timbre of his voice.
Yeah. So for example, like playing a card that has the best action for you in the moment, or do you play the card that has the symbol on it that's going to let you play the apostle? Right. Like that was even just a minor example of like those decisions, which I like. Do what's best for you in that exact moment, or do what's like next best but might help you in the long term.
Yeah.
I like those kind of things. The area majority was competitive. I thought it was pretty strategic. It wasn't overly mean, but it's not friendly. There are times like, so Jesus is in the middle of the table. Okay. He is, if it was a table, okay, if this was a legitimate table, he would be literally standing in the middle of the table.
Designed by Richard
Okay.
F.
Yeah. And you would want to be in front of him and behind him. Like he's standing in the middle of the table. You want to be
and
looking at
one
his ass
spot
or
right.
looking at his ween, right? You want to be right there.
They're both facing him.
You want to be both. You want to be facing him and sitting there. But if you put your guy there first, there are actions throughout the game that will allow me to swap with you.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
So you might not want to go there right away.
Yeah.
You might want to leave
Someone
that
will
spot
just take
open
your
until
spot.
later as
you
people
can
are
swap.
Well, you can swap, or you can just shift people, or you can move to an
Yankee
open spot. So there are ways to sort of screw people over. It didn't bother me a ton because there's so many spaces that. So you might go, like if I swap spaces with you, Ryan.
Yeah.
If you're sitting closest to Jesus, you're getting 7 points.
Okay.
Okay, with your one meeple. If I move you, I'm not taking away all of your 7 points. I have to keep you at the dinner table somewhere.
Sure.
So you might go from 7 points to 4. Which
Still, 3 points is a
still big.
considerable jump.
It still is big, but it's not like you're going from 7 to 0 and you've lost that guy.
Right.
It's not like you're getting eliminated, which that would be the area of control that we always kind of
Sure.
talk about.
Right.
This just kind of you shift it around. But there can be some take thatty. The production I thought was great. The downside of that is this game comes with a bunch of meeples. Everyone has like 15 meeples to start the game, which are your followers.
Oh, wow.
There's a bunch of resources. There's fish and bread and rocks or some shit. There's like 3 different things. And there's all the apostles. But you have to sticker everything.
right.
Oh.
You had Jen do it.
No, Joe did it.
Oh, Joe did it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Meeples?
So Joe really wanted to play this game on Monday. Yeah, to sticker all the meeples. So all the meeples they have like different faces. And there's
Okay.
like front and back.
Ugh.
So you're
dang.
stickering. Joe was like his fingers were hurting.
Oh, yeah.
Fingers. And
Did he like
So-
it?
Sticky fingers.
he liked the game a lot.
Fuck,
So
sticky.
No, I
he,
mean,
do you like stickering?
stickering.
Fuck no.
Natalie loves stickering.
Natalie, buy this
She
game.
is a
why did
sticker
Joe
correct.
do it?
Okay,
'Cause he wanted
we were
to-
going to play it.
Oh,
so
okay.
I got the game delivered to me. So I got the game delivered to me on Monday, and I texted Joe. I'm like, "Hey, it's here," and he's like, "I'm driving by your house and I'm grabbing it off the porch." So he like got it off the porch, opened it up, and stickered
Stickered it for
everything.
you?
I was like, "You don't have to sticker. We can sticker it while we play, right? That's fine."
like, no
he's
way
like,
I'm fucking
"Nope." He's like,
stickering
"I
now.
just stickered it all." So shout out to him. I didn't have to do that.
Damn,
but that
Joe.
sucks. But if you don't like doing that,
Stickering sucks. I hate stickering.
I know nothing about
Good
the
thing
theme.
you got a professional stickerer.
Yeah,
I don't
but
pay
it
you.
seems like it's
You're an
prevalent
amateur
throughout.
stickerer.
Ooh,
Well, just because you don't get
A
paid.
little
pay
bit
for it.
rude.
Yeah.
yeah. I think the theme seems prevalent throughout. I would be curious if someone who is in that faith who would play that, but I feel like that could also be a deterrent. People might not play this game because of
Yeah, sure.
the
Yeah.
theme, but people also might be drawn to it. I talked to Peter a handful of times about this. He's drawn to the game because of the theme. So I think there's
Interesting.
people drawn to it, but also might be a deterrent versus like trading in the whatever Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Doesn't really deter people off, right?
True.
I guess unless it's really boring.
And
so
at least, even if, I don't know, I feel like this is a theme that everyone's at least a little familiar with.
yeah, it's like, oh, it's religion, right? There's you probably know Jesus, whether
Probably.
you believe in it or
I've
not.
heard of him. I heard of Big
so
Papa J.
For how much I
heard of that
enjoyed the
guy.
game, here comes the but. There is something that is keeping this game from being amazing.
Ooh, what is it?
I don't know.
Oh,
So I'm going to brainstorm a little bit with you.
okay. Let's think
So
about it.
this game sits firmly in almost great, like good, not great.
So it's better than good, not
It's
great.
better than good, not great.
Okay.
Is it great? I don't know. I don't know if I would want something like the cards to be a little bit more dynamic. I got frustrated toward the end of the game where I couldn't get a symbol. No symbols were coming up in the cards that I could get that I needed to do something.
Okay,
I was
that's
just
frustrating.
Like, this is frustrating. But that happens in deck builders, so I get that. So maybe it is that. Maybe it's not that. Is it? Did I feel like it maybe lacked the tightness or shorter of the game? Like it took us a longer time to play this game than I thought, and the turns didn't feel as tight as I wanted them to.
Okay.
So maybe it was that. Maybe it wasn't. The graphic design was odd sometimes. They leaned into theme a little more than functionality in the iconography.
So you got confused. Like,
So there's
what
a couple
is
things.
this?
So I'll give a specific example. There are 2 icons. One is like, the art is beautiful, but there's one that's like your feet are on the ground, okay, and you're like tiptoeing. So think of it like that. That means that you can send somebody from one of your worker placement spaces to the supper.
Okay, makes sense.
Or no, that's from one to the other. Anyway, and then there's one where you're tiptoeing, but you're slightly hovering off the ground.
And
that means that you can do something slightly different, but it has to do with the supper. So it's like,
No,
it all
that's
kind of
not
deals
cool.
with that, but it's like, those are really close
Yeah.
together.
too close.
So I felt like looking at that, it
I'm
seemed
with
like
you.
they
That's
went,
bad.
Too
they went
close.
design and theme instead of functionality on a few things.
Okay.
So one thing that I know I wasn't a huge fan of was this in-game scoring. Okay, so there's this icon that moves this track up, and every time it hits one of the symbols, you're going to score something. So I play this symbol, move it up, boom, it hits this scoring round. You kind of take a quick pause, and everybody scores whatever it says.
Okay, cool.
So you get a point per resource you have. You get a point per person you have at the supper, right?
Sure.
And it just stops, and it does that every once in a while. So, but the person who triggers the scoring round gets full points, while everybody else only gets half. So if you trigger
damn.
it, so it's weird to me that in an area majority game, that having the majority of something
doesn't get you
give me
the
most.
most points. Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
Ryan had 8 resources and I had 4 resources and I trigger the scoring round,
You
I'm
get
getting
the more
4 points, you're getting 4 points.
Weird.
Well, then
But I
what's the
triggered
point
it.
of having majority?
It's not. But that's in my brain, I think of this should be an area majority thing, right? The main mechanism of scoring is area majority. All of these things could be
Yeah, this should be
majority.
used as majority
This should
too.
be used as like the first person gets 5 points and
I
then
see.
3 and then 2. That's just my thought, right? It's
Yeah.
not like that. And then I never got a chance to even trigger a scoring round because there's 4 people and it happens every other time that symbol is played basically. So
Okay.
you could get in a track where I had majority in some of these things and thinking about scoring rounds, going, okay, I'm ready to score, and I just never got the opportunity because Joe did it 5 times because he would have the incentive to do it every single time. If Bill moved it up 1 and then it's Joe's turn next, he'd be like, well, I'm going to get more points than them. I don't want them to trigger the scoring round, so I'll play a card that triggers it. So I had to basically lean on the fact like he might not have the card to trigger it and hope that I do.
But of course he did.
But he did, and you know, it's not like he won the game because of that, but it was just a weird. It felt like added on, or just kind of like, oh, why isn't there scoring throughout the game? And then someone was like, well, do this. It felt like an afterthought for
Yeah,
scoring.
that didn't
to
really
me.
make sense.
And it just didn't fit
Mechanically.
in how I felt like that was the game was moving along. So
Okay. Sure, fair enough.
whatever the game lacked, it may not matter because I did like it. I did like it
Yeah.
enough to play it, to keep it in my collection. I'll update with more plays because I think Dave liked it kind of well too. He actually won. He was the holiest of all the.
Oh,
of all of
nice.
us.
Ooh, holy
That's
Dave.
how I always think of him too.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
Right.
Dave, oh,
Like,
he's
gosh,
the
Dave,
holiest.
he's just so pious.
Holy.
So I'll update with more plays. It falls into a better than good, not great, which is games that I keep
Yeah,
and enjoy and will pick. But I'll report if I put my finger on what is kind of keeping it from being great.
Maybe more plays will realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, one way or the other. Or maybe I'll be like, I just kind of missed the point, and that maybe that scoring track does work or something. But that was my main complaint as I was playing. I'm like, I don't like the feel of this with the rest of the game for some reason. There was
Yeah.
like a disconnect.
Okay. Well, that's something.
Anyway, overall, better than good, not great. That was Jerusalem from Devere,
Devere.
and Carmen Jimenez.
Carmen Jimenez. Who in the fuck is Carmen Jimenez?
We don't know, but I'm going to keep looking out for her games now. If she's keep making
bangers like
Bangers.
this. Well,
a banger in the
a little
mouth.
better than good night, great bangers.
Yeah, hey.
Oh, I heard here you call it a sausage in the mouth.
No,
Nope, we just call it a
the
sausage. The date was February 16th, 2016. Episode number 3 of the Gamecasters podcast was just released. The Art of Winning was the topic of the episode, where Jeremy and I talked all about how important winning was to some people and how it influenced play, and then discussed thoughts on our game of the episode. Back then, we would play a game and then immediately turn on the mics and record our thoughts about it. The game discussed back in episode 3 was Alien Frontiers.
Oh, callback.
My first ever recorded play of this game was on March 9th, 2014, before many of you, including Natalie, were even born. Well,
Did you say 2014?
Wait, well, I'm younger than her very clearly. And also ugly and dumb, and she wouldn't have sex with me in high school. So just know that I'm just a real piece of shit.
Here we are, almost a decade later, and the new version, Edition X, landed on my doorstep.
What do you think the X stands for?
Courtesy of Starling Games, who provided this
Xylophone.
copy for us. I was extremely excited to rip
four
open the
X's.
shrink and have X-rated situations happen with Natalie amidst all the components, which I think is mostly what Starling is concerned with. Plenty of reviewers talk about the mechanisms and the component quality, but how does the game stand up to rampant and spirited copulation? Not well. We ripped the board almost immediately. The plastic components seem to hold up fine, but we'll find out more when we pass them in a few days. The box has a visible Natalie's butt dent in it that I think only increases the value, as we can sell it now and call it a bang and smash instead of a ding and dent. And boy, isn't that what America's all about.
The whole bang and
Give it a
smash.
bang. You got a bang and smash section.
Oh my god.
All games that have been
Which
fucked
ones
on.
of those been fucked
we
on?
increased the price of those ones. Arc Nova. We got Arc Nova ding and dent, $50. We got Arc Nova retail, $80. We got Arc Nova. We got a bang and smash,
$220.
$220. Alien Frontiers became famous for being one of the first ever board games to come to Kickstarter. Back in April of 2010, it had a goal of $5,000. The pledge levels were ridiculous. For instance, there was a $300 level that came with the following. You'll get the game, bonus card, and rockets from the $50 level, plus a high-quality print of the Alien Frontiers floating majestically over the barren alien planet. This 15 by 20 print is signed by the artist and is suitable for framing. That was $300 for that pledge level.
Ooh.
The game made $14,000 in total and had 228 backers. What a world it was back then. Now we have campaigns into the millions with thousands upon thousands of backers for games 1/10 as fun.
Yeah.
In Alien Frontiers, players are rolling and placing dice onto different locations of the board to gather resources, acquire more dice, gain powerful cards, and ultimately get their colony markers onto the board in an area majority way to get the most points and win the game. Real quick, I gotta stop for a second. Now, we talk about
Do you do the music?
We talk about. Okay, we're back. We talk about how a lot of games come out, Jeff, and they're like somehow they get released and they're very similar to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you notice, this happens on the podcast a lot, where somehow,
Why do
for
we do this?
some reason, some way, games we talk about have very similar things in them. You just talked about Ierusalem, and it had area majority. I'm now talking about Alien Frontiers, and one of the key mechanisms of this game is area majority. Now, that's not that crazy,
But still.
but I have noticed this happen a lot in our episodes, and we don't intend it.
Weird.
It just fucking happens, and it's really strange. Anyway, the new edition X of Alien Frontiers doesn't change anything from the previous editions at all. But it does include all previous expansions, plus some new cards never before seen. If you're looking to get into the Alien Frontiers world, this is the edition you will get.
Okay,
Unless
so
for
you
some
can't
reason,
get the old.
well,
shit,
you might
no.
find joy in hunting down the old secondary,
But not
hard to
like
find stuff piece by piece
But
for no
no,
reason.
Sale.
but 0 point of doing that.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This edition has it all. All right. So things I liked about this game. What's great about Alien Frontiers? I have been playing for almost a decade now, and every time I just find it so enjoyable to figure out how am I going to leverage my play? Okay. You start with 3 workers, dice. And there are 3 more to get throughout the game. And anyone who knows anything about worker placement games knows the more workers you have, the more stuff you can do. So getting workers early is always a good idea. And I really enjoy the decision about what to do with the rest of your dice. Each location to place them on has its own restrictions, and you can usually place your dice in multiple spots. And so picking the right one at the right time can be difficult. I love rolling dice. I love placing workers. I love having powers, which this game does. If it had a dual layer dynamic player board, it would probably be my favorite game of all time. Just kidding. Come on, Mario's better. But you get player powers both by starting with a faction from the Factions expansion, which is included, which can be really good, as well as a little bonus power when you place your colony markers onto the map space that you have majority in. The powers are really fun and break the game a bit, which creates some really fun strategic opportunities. The points go in flux in Alien Frontiers, as the game also has an area majority mechanic that we just talked about a second ago, so it feels tense the entire time as you have such a good power from the space you're on. Oh, but here comes Natalie to place a marker on that space, which takes majority away from you as well as the power. It's scary, intense, and fun, especially with more players, which is going to lead me into things I didn't like. This game is pretty bland with just 2. I would not play this game with just 2. Spots on the board are removed, and the planet is big enough that you don't have to get in each other's way, and you might not really want to, because you get more points if you have majority. And so if
But that's not the game.
What's that?
That's not the game.
Exactly.
That's not the heart of it.
It's not what you want to be doing. But when you're playing 2 players, you're like, well, this gives me more points, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And so, you know what I mean? So the fun goes down
I
a
would
lot.
say if I'm going back to talk about Jerusalem, there is a backside of the board which shrink the table, but I've heard that the same area majority doesn't lend itself great to 2 players.
No.
It seems better at more almost always.
If somebody could do a good area majority game with 2, that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah,
because it's hard to do.
Some, but then it's not this. This is a bigger.
You don't get the jockeying that you need, right? So there can also be some tough situations. If a player ahead of you is rolling really well, they can take the spots you need, and you can feel stymied. The game's a lot of things all at once. It's dice rolling, it's worker placement, it's area majority, and it's a race game. The game ends when one player plays their last colony marker onto the board. And it can feel kind of bad in a game that's really a Euro game come down to luck of the roll to win it for someone. Personally, I think the luck to strategy balance is done pretty well, but I've played it enough that I've seen plays where one person is just having such an easy time of it while another one is hating their life. And so it makes for some really polarizing opinions here. Overall, this is one of my favorite games, personally, of all time. I'm happy to have this version with everything in the box. My old version may be coming home with one of you soon, as I simply just don't need it anymore now that I have Edition X. Because again, it's got everything in it already in one box. It's perfect. Natalie has different opinions, I think. So let's talk to her. What do you think?
I mean, definitely not one of my favorite games of all time. I remember liking. I think this is probably one of the first worker placement games I've ever played back in the day.
This is Kingsburg.
Yeah. So I remember liking it back then, but it's been many years since I played it. And then,
so this is at least your second play of Alien Frontiers.
She's played it, I think, more than
2, 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
A few, I would say.
When you started playing, and we know your memory, did you remember any of it? Other than the cool domes you got to put out.
And the name.
Everybody always remembers that.
Yeah.
Did you remember any kind of mechanism or anything as you're
all
playing
I
it?
remembered was I kind of remembered the general look of the board, and that there were a bunch of different like places that you put workers, but I don't remember anything about
that's all right. That's
what the spots did.
I love the look of this game, by the way. I think it looks so, and that's part of what I love about it. These dark blues colors. It just looks really cool. And what's mostly a generic space theme. It really seems to draw me in personally. So keep going, Natalie.
I mean, I don't really have a lot to say. It's been many years since I played this, and I do like it, and I did like it. I agree with you about the area majority part.
Area
majority part isn't as big of a thing when you play with 2 players, but also at the same time, the specific play, you got all your things out.
I had the greatest play of all time.
I literally only had half of mine out by the time it ended.
I scored more points than any game I've ever played.
I don't even know if we were ever in the same spot. So it was kind of stupid. Ryan whooped my ass.
What was this? Because you get to 10. Is it 10?
It maxes out
He
at
went
14.
to the max.
14, okay. And what were you at?
I don't know.
8,
9, 8.
8 or 9, yeah. She didn't do bad.
I do like that.
I just
He was like, "Oh, you didn't do that bad."
crushed
I'm
it.
like, "There's it only goes up to 14."
Yeah, well, you only lost by 6, but it's like double.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like losing by 200.
I didn't look at the points. I looked at it more like I only got half of my things out, and he got all of them.
Right, you got crushed.
Yeah.
But to make you feel better, he said, you only lost by 5. But yeah, that's a lot in the game.
I could tell you what it
So
that could have been 12 turns. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway.
I don't know. I don't have anything that negative to say about this game. I mean, it was in that play is kind of annoying because the whole time it was clear that you were just kicking my ass. Like at the very beginning, he had almost all of his dice, and I still had the minimum because he kept taking that spot and I couldn't even go to it, kind of thing. And until he got all of his out, and then after he did that, then I could start going to it because he didn't need to go into it anymore. It was just stuff like that. But or I had some cards that weren't you have cards that give you either in-game or end-game points.
Yep.
I could not get the in-game points, and then the end-game points, one of the cards just like, because I had it, I couldn't, I don't know, whatever. Some weird things happened, so I was kind of like, that was a little annoying, but I wouldn't say that makes like the game bad for me. I think it's a good game. I think
most of the problems go away when you play with more players.
Exactly, yeah. I think that,
This
just
works
in
at
general,
4 or 5.
dice placement games are fun. I thought the spots and the stuff you get to do is fun, and but I mean at the same time it doesn't like it kind of seems to me, and maybe it's just because I played it early on in my gaming life, but it just seems like one of the more basic worker placement games.
It probably feels a little bit dated now. I mean, it was originally released in
and there's
2011.
nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying there's nothing like
Yeah,
that
but
interesting
in 2011
about it, but it was good.
2011, it might have been a revolutionary.
Oh my gosh, I still love it. It is definitely more simplistic. It's not. There's not
Probably
as
kinda
much
like
to it.
Kingsburg, like if somebody who played Kingsburg today, they'd be like, okay, yeah, it's
cool.
But I also
Kingsburg
really like Kingsburg
more recently than you have. It's fine.
But I like that was one of my favorite games ever back in the day, and so like it has like. I'll always like that.
The
game.
one thing,
But,
if you had Alien Frontiers in the past, there was expansions that brought the player count up higher.
Okay.
And I believe
like beyond 5?
Beyond 4.
Okay. 4. Okay. So this
I used to play it at 5 all the time, and then I thought for a second, I was like, actually, I think Alien Frontiers Edition X brings it back to just 4.
Okay.
So I think that's the one possible thing I might keep from my old version.
Okay.
Are the components for
this one
additional players.
Alien Frontiers always reminded me of Dune Imperium.
Oh,
when I played Dune, because there's that visual track of like you get to this because this ends when you hit a certain point, right?
It ends when you get your last bubble thing on the
because Dune Imperium ends like when you get 10 points.
10 points,
right?
Yeah.
And that always, to Natalie's point, you can visually see that you are getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
And that can be hard where there's not a lot of like, I have a bunch of end game points. I know I'm going to get some points back. I know I'm going to score some. Or there's a lot of points later. It's not a point salad.
At all.
It's just, you get 3 points. That's a fuckload.
That's a lot of points.
So many points. Or you win by 3. Same
like
thing with
14,
Dune Imperium where toward the end when you're playing, you're like, I'm just going through the motions to get to the end of the game, and that can suck. That's the one downside I feel like of Dune Imperium. If you're not in it in the last handful of turns, you're
pretty
so
fucked.
out of it.
You're like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, you're like, am I just king making?
And
what am I doing?
that problem is a lot more prevalent in a 2-player game because there's moments at the end where it's like, I can't do shit. But in a multiplayer game, when the majorities are jockeying back and forth, in Alien Frontiers, you'll lose points.
Right?
So if they
but if you're
take
too
that
far
away,
ahead, it's just
it's
a
in the
runaway.
2-player game, there was nothing that could happen.
There, even in the game that we just played, it kind of felt even at some point, like he was like getting all his dice out, but then I started kind of quickly getting domes out. And so we were kind of like even. And so in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, I have a chance here. And then like the next like 3 turns, he got the rest of all of his out.
He
Like,
was
boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh.
It's like you got to the same point, but he was already building his next step. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the new Alien Frontiers Edition X by Starling Games. I am so thankful that they sent that to me, and I love the fucking game. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah,
so I'm very excited to have that one, and we'll see what happens with the older version. Jeff, what else do you have?
Okay, we played a game right before the show, right after Natalie's Chinese experience, Chinese food experience,
which we think gave her the
turned
zoomies.
her into whatever this
They
is.
gave her the zoomies. Somehow.
Yeah, whatever just happened. She's come down a little bit.
She has.
She's drinking this
know.
energy
She's
drink.
just started a kickstart, so
I hope she ramps it back
she's
up.
gonna
here
get.
pretty
Yeah,
soon.
she's gonna get her. She's gonna get her second win.
I'm
here.
all over the place.
I don't have a ton written down about this game. This game came out in 1999, and it's called Ra. R-A. Ra.
Mama.
Like that. Natalie, do it again.
Ra, ra,
I wanna play Ra.
So this game is called Ra. It's been re-implemented into Priests of Ra, and
Yeah, what the fuck? Why?
there's been Ra the dice game,
Razzie.
and there's Ra something else. I think there's one more. Maybe
Sisboomba.
Ra Shishkumba. There's a lot of these games. This is a designer Knizia game.
Yeah, it is. One of his better ones.
The version that we played is not the old 1999 version. This is the new updated art by Ian O'Toole and 25th Century Games version.
Can I tell you something that I think is so cool about this? Ian O'Toole is, to me, he is associated with Vital Lacerda. Mm-hmm. That's why I feel like where he got his boom. Like he just came onto the scene with Vital Lacerda games. And now I associate Ian O'Toole with like the cream of the crop, heavy really like kind of like modern style board game designs. To see Ian O'Toole's artwork with a Designer Knizia game is really cool because Designer Knizia is like an era before.
Yeah,
he's like a generation or two before Ian O'Toole, and now they're like kind of fused together. And this is one of Designer Knizia's more popular, famous designs. And it's really cool to see the Ian O'Toole treatment on a game like this.
Yeah, that's a cool point because Designer Knizia didn't make games for the art.
Right.
There was never a thought in 1999. The art was never like the forefront of a lot of these games. But like Ian O'Toole, like you look at this game, you're like, this is going to grab your attention.
It's beautiful.
And everyone now, if you've on social media on Kickstarter because it's game funded through that, this game, the cover, it's everywhere right now because I think it just got to backers. There's this great deluxe edition, all this kind of stuff. If you don't know this game, quick thing, this is an auction bidding / Natalie's favorite type of game.
Loves this game.
And usually auction bidding games, especially in 1999, led to set collection, and that's what this is. Players start with some bidding tiles that in this game are nice wooden, chunky, awesome.
They're so fucking chonkers.
Like it on my finger pads.
Yeah, they feel great.
Tiles, and they just have a number on it, a simple number from 1 to 15. They're all simple. From 1 to 15.
13.
We
right?
played in a 3-player game. So
there's more.
So in a 4-player game, you add one more, and in a 5-player game, you add one more.
Sure.
And on your turn, it's very simple. So on your turn, you either draw a tile from the bag, or you choose to start an auction. That's it. That's what you do on your turn.
Wow.
So when you decide to start an auction, you're essentially saying, I want the tiles that have been drawn in this collective pool to be bid on. So I say, all right, I'm going to start an auction. And if I start the auction, Ryan, who sits to my left, says, all right, I'm going to bid my 2 chip on it. Natalie says, I pass. And then it comes to me and I have a choice. If I start the auction, I have to bid on it. If nobody else bids on it, whoever bids their the highest token takes all of the tiles that were available from that pool. And all the tiles, like normal set collecting games, score differently. There are also, why would you ever stop drawing tiles? Because there are also some of these negative tiles that like kill other tiles.
Those things suck.
And it seems like, there's only like 8 of them in this giant fucking bag. I don't think there was hardly any. But why does it come out every fucking time?
There's a million of them.
And there's also these tiles that automatically start auctions. You're also bidding for your next tile that you can, the next bidding tile that you use in the next round. So like I might bid a 1, but the tile that I'm getting could be a 10 for the next round. So now I have a higher number for the next round. So there are great reasons to also stop and say, let's do an auction. Ryan did it a few times where he had the 1 and he was trying to start an auction early to use his 1 to get a higher tile. He knew Natalie and I didn't want to use our 5 6s on something that's only 1 or 2 tiles. But if he can get 1 or 2 tiles and a nice bidding token for the next one, cool. So what did I think about this game? I have always liked this game because I've played the game Priest of Ra a lot.
Yeah, tons of times.
Maybe borderline 10 times.
Yeah.
I played Priest of Ra. These games between Ra and Priest of Ra are almost exactly the same.
Yeah, what the fuck?
There are these priest tiles that are slightly different than the pharaoh tiles or the other type of tiles that come out. There's not a ton of different. The core mechanism, bidding, auctioning, collecting, how they score are all very, very similar. So if you have Priests of Ra for some reason, it's not like a widely popular available game.
True.
I don't think there's a reason to have Ra. And if you have Ra, there's no reason to go get Priests of Ra. They're very similar. But I generally find auction bidding games fun. Am I necessarily great at them? No. But I think that idea is fun to me. It feels different enough when I play games. Worker placement games, I can sit and I love that type of crunch and think. Auction bidding games seem so foreign to me when I play them sometimes, where I just like that it feels so different than other games that I've ever played.
Yeah.
Like, I'm bidding on these things. I'm not just like set collecting where I just take things, right? I have to use my tiles efficiently. And that makes me think in a completely different way than like area control or worker placement or deck building, that kind of stuff. The production of this game is amazing. And I would say it's like, so I have the retail version. There is a deluxe edition where all of those tiles that you're bidding on are wood. My bidding tiles are wood, but these are like the ones you're collecting are wood in the deluxe edition. I'm not sure you need the deluxe edition. I don't even know if I don't know what the price difference is, But the regular standard edition of this game is
It's still very nice.
beyond good.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Is gorgeous. There's a new player board. I don't know if the original came with a player board to sort of organize your tiles. I absolutely love that and think it's totally necessary. This game is going to stick around my collection because it's a game that I don't have this type of auction bidding game, and I just like it. I like how it runs. I like the way that it makes me think during this game and figure out. Ryan's played Priest of Ra before. Natalie has played now just Ra. Mm-hmm. What did you think of Ra?
First of all, designer Knizia, man. His games, they're so... When he was in his heyday, which I consider this game, Ra, or Tigris and Euphrates, or Samurai, or Through the Desert, Amun-Re, or... God, what's another banger that I'm missing out of there? Like some real... God, when he's in his element here, designing games like this, Ingenious is really great. He has... this way of designing games where you're not fighting the mechanisms at all. You're playing the players. And Ra is perfect. It's got this. So when Jeff was describing the rules here, you have 4 fucking tiles with numbers on them. And then tiles come out that are like, you get these tiles and you'll get some points. What are those tiles worth to you? And what do the other players have? And what might they get? Mm-hmm. It's not just like, I'm going to try to win the auction and get the best tile. This is more than that. Because not only is there that, there's this little bonus extra thing that happens where you have to replace the tile you're using to bid with the one that's currently out there. It's this Onitama thing where I bid and I get rid of that tile. Now you're going to take that next. And so if you have this sweet tile set come out, and you're on round 2. There's only 3 epics in this game. You're on the second epic. And so getting tiles for that third epic is extremely important for jockeying and playing the players. Mm-hmm. And so if Jeff has just won the previous auction with his 1 tile, and now I have a 13, and a bunch of tiles come out, and I'm like, these are fucking awesome.
These are perfect for
These are great. I need these tiles. I'm not just going to automatically take them because I'm trading this for the 1. I'm trading the highest tile in the game in a 3-player game for the lowest tile in the game.
And that sucks.
And that sucks, especially for the last epic where now I'm not going to have a 13, which is the highest. I'm going to have the fucking lowest. And maybe I also have the 6 and the 4.
And you're like, oh.
And the 9. And it's like, oh shit, that's going to fuck me up. Mm-hmm. So do you wait? Do you forego those tiles to try to get something better later, forcing someone else to take the 1, or do you hold on and not even bid? And there's these moments that you're like, you're not playing the game anymore. That's not what I mean. You're not focused on the mechanisms. It's like it rises above the mechanism somehow.
And I like that to your point of, okay, these are coming out. I'm looking at Ryan and Natalie's board going, Ryan really likes all that thing. I'm not drawing another tile.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make him, I'm going to make him bid on it.
Right.
So I'm going to start an auction, not because I want it, because I want Ryan to bid on it. I want him to use his token to bid on it, or I want Natalie to use her token, or force me to take it with a low one. If they're not going to take it, I'll take it for a low one. I like when you kind of force other people to do things, or you put them in a position where they have to make a decision.
All that stuff is happening with the littlest, simplest rule set.
So simple.
It is nothing. This rule set is nothing, and there's so much game in there. Even if you don't like it, like you'll hear Natalie talk about in a second, there is still so much game to think about. Oh, I'm thinking more modern art, Medici.
Yep.
Oh, auction games,
Lost Cities.
right? Lost Cities.
In the heyday. But
that his heyday, the bangers here. This is one of them, and this is one where, gosh, Natalie hates it so fucking much. I still want it.
Ra.
It's a great fucking. We're not getting it. Don't worry, Natalie. But this is a great game. I have nothing negative to say about it. The only bad thing I could say is Natalie, I don't want to steal Natalie's thunder because her complaints with auction games, I understand completely.
Yeah, let Natalie
go ahead
it a little bit.
Go ahead and
I agree
tell
with
us what you think.
Okay. I thought the collecting part was cool.
Collecting what?
Collecting the sets and points. And
literally the physical move of grabbing the
auction
tiles.
Part is not cool. No. I mean, to me,
you can hate it. It's okay.
I do. There's nothing wrong with this game. This is a fine game, but I hate the feeling I get in auction games. I feel like such a dummy. I feel like I'm just arbitrarily making decisions and they're always the wrong ones. I don't get auction games. I don't see the strategy, and so it just feels random to me because the decisions for me feel impossible. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I need stuff, but do I do it now or do I not do it? I don't know. Like,
it's hard for you to assess the value.
It is
respective to what.
That's my problem with them.
I was hoping that this might be a little
easier,
gentler on you because the values are already, at least the numbers are in front of
Yeah.
you.
Right, you only have 4 you could possibly
you didn't
even
have
do.
to be like, oh, I want that for $1 million. Or like, not an army.
yeah.
You're just like, I
You can-
guess
right.
this much. Like, the values are there. So you like, Ryan had the highest. He had 13. You
Yeah.
had 12. Like, you can see them
It's
visually,
not
but clearly
even
that
just
didn't help.
No, it's more of just like that. I don't know what is a smart move to make. Like, when do I go all in? When do I hold back? You know, that kind of stuff is just really hard for me. I kind of equate it to like gambling a little bit.
Okay.
Ryan and I have played a shitload of poker.
Yeah,
I actually thought when
That's
you
true.
said that, I was like, we've played a lot of poker where you're playing people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
What are they gonna
I'm
do?
not
How do I
good
get them
at
out?
That that's not my thing, and it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
You got to play the
know,
river more now.
where I'm just like, I'm not sure what to do. But I mean, I fully realize that that's a me thing, and so if you're not like me, listen to Ryan and Jeff's opinions about this.
This is one of
game.
the more famous designer Knizia designs.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody.
There's
mean,
also a
I've
push
never
your
played
luck
this,
element.
but I am very well aware of this game.
Right.
Yeah.
It's your complaints are if this was the board game beatdown and you wrote that on
A comment.
BGG on a comment.
Yeah, we'd be
I
like,
don't know
yeah.
if I would rag on you as much unless
Can't complain.
your name was something like Ningly Jangly Farts or something.
Yeah.
Then we would probably get
God, I wish it was Niggly Jangly Farts.
Yeah.
That sounds like an
Should I
elf.
change it?
That sounds
Yeah.
like an elf name.
You should.
Mingly jangly.
It's a great game, man.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it, and I'm very happy with the production. I might need to look a little bit more into the deluxe one.
Yeah, what's different about it? This
don't-
thing feels so great.
I think that the tiles that you're getting, the Pharaoh tiles and the river tiles, all of those I think are wooden in the other one.
The
Which I
bag's
don't,
gonna even be bigger.
I don't know if it's necessary to have this type of game in that production, but again, people like production. It's money and it's cool.
But here's
and
the
it's
thing.
awesome. But this retail edition is fucking awesome.
In the next game I'm about to talk about, you can tell if you had just cardboard tokens, it'd be a bummer. But in Ra, the tiles that come out that are cardboard
They're
like
thick,
they're with
thick,
2 C's.
double C's. It is, and it's not cheap. I don't feel like
You don't feel like, man, this would be cooler if it was wood or resin.
Yeah.
Or acrylic. You know.
And I think the original, either Priest of Ra or regular Ra, has like geek up bits on to get rid of those really thin cardboard, like the Castles of Burgundy thin.
It's just a thin
cardboard. But man, the production of this is incredible. So shout
awesome.
out to 25th Century and their reprint of this. They're again kicking some butt.
Very cool. So Starling Games did not just send us Alien Frontiers X.
What?
They also sent us something else. So we are constantly looking for games to play with the kids that they'll enjoy. And more importantly, that we'll enjoy playing with them.
Right.
There have been a ton of
Pixar
games over the
phenomenon.
years. Yeah, exactly. That they like, but were just mind-numbing for us to play with them. We also found a lot of really good ones that have stuck around. However, the list of gamer games that the kids can handle that feel good for us is very short. Zombie Kids is kind of close, but My Lil Everdell, I think, is the first one that all 3 kids can play well and have fun with limited assistance. Usually Scarlett needs
She's on your team.
usually
Yeah,
she
right.
like
She
she'll
needs
understand the mechanisms sometimes, but she has no fucking clue what to do, right? This one is a little different. In this kids version of one of the more popular games of the last few years, players are placing workers to acquire resources and then using those resources to buy a card and add it to their tableau to give them more stuff to buy more cards in the future and ultimately gain parade tiles to score tons of points. It's very similar to the adult version, so there's lots of familiar territory for fans of the game. But this one's very stripped down. You will find still the resin, wood, and berries as the resources, and now there are dice to roll that give additional resource spots to go to. And the kids love rolling the dice and seeing which resources were going to be available this round. Of
course.
Yeah. The cards you buy are very clear. And it's really simple for the kids to tell how much they cost and what they do. The game only plays 4 rounds, so once everyone plays their 3 workers 4 times, the game is over. So things I liked. I really enjoy in this one that everything happens in a nice streamlined way. Each turn, you simply place 1 worker, gather the resources from that worker, Then you can buy one card. Then you check to see if you gain a parade tile. That's it. Then next player's turn. The game is very simple without feeling pointless. There was enough to chew on each turn as there are 8 cards to choose from, and they're all pretty good. Do you take a green card to jumpstart your economy each round, or a blue card that kind of gives you a passive ability that fits with your strategy? Do you just gather critter cards to go after that 6-point parade tile, or take that other card that's not a critter but could really help later on? The artwork is the same high quality you'd expect it to be from Andrew Bosley and Jacques Davis, and so the look of this game invites you in and makes you want to discover all the cool artwork on the cards. The kids really like when a game looks cool. And this one really looks cool too. So it was a step in the right direction there. They loved it.
Cool.
The kids fucking loved it. They loved it so
like you
much.
said, the art is so not childish is not the right word, but it's in this cool fantasy.
Yeah,
like
it's
we
very
got cute
cute.
animals.
It's not. You're right. It's not.
It's
kiddie,
not kid at all. But
No.
But
it just lives
it's
in
like
this,
fantastical.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it lives in that kind of family friendly environment of
Yeah.
like, there's not monsters.
It's
they're
like
not fighting.
It's like
just like
yeah. It's very. It's great. It's really great. It felt like a game to them, right? Which Cameron's used to, but Lexi specifically, seeing her eyes light up as she worked out the downstream effects of buying a card and how it was going to give her a windfall of stuff was really cool to witness. And she instantly said it was her favorite game of all time.
of course, awesome.
The box says 6 and up, and that's true. Scarlett could play this with relative ease. She's not necessarily having the mind-blowing Matrix seeing moments that Lexi, my 9-year-old,
Right.
has.
she's 6.
She can go
But-
through the motions, but she's not necessarily being like, "Oh, I see. This is
this
the
gets
best
me that,
move,
gets me that.
so I better get."
But she was able to understand
play.
what to do to get resources to get the card she wanted right then.
Right.
So she might be like, "That card looks cool. Oh, it costs 1 wood. I go up there to get a wood, and now I
playing
can
in
get
the
that
now.
card."
That's
So
fine.
she,
Yeah.
So she doesn't necessarily see strategy yet, but she knows enough to be like, "I want that, so I'm going to put this there to get me that, so I can spend that and buy that." Like, and that's really cool. So things I didn't like. It only plays 4, which is a bummer. We're a family of 5, which means either I don't play, which is what happened in our last play, or 2 of us are forced to double up. So in a game, you really just want to play with the kids. If both grown-ups want to also play and you have more than 2 kids, it's not ideal. Also, while this is a fun game for kids, it's not going to have a ton there as far as replayability for the adults, other than having fun playing again with the kids as they have fun. So while something like Zombie Kids or Zombie Teens fixes this with the legacy aspect, adding things to bring you back for more, this one is just the same song and dance over and again. Overall, though, I really like this game, and it definitely retains that Everdell feel that the kids can join in with. And it's a robust enough experience that it feels like a great gateway game for the kids between little party games and bigger strategic games. Like I said, we had a moment with Lexi where she was talking about how she loved seeing that if she got those resources that she could buy that card, which would give her stuff for the 2 other cards she already bought and would help her get to the parade tile. And man, that felt so cool. And I looked at her and I was like, that's exactly why we love board games. All the games we have, that's what they do. And she kind of looked at the games with like a new sense of awe and wonder, like, oh man. And that was really cool.
That's cool.
It was like an eye-opening, like,
Yeah.
What else can I
whoa.
play?
Yeah, like, holy
That's cool.
shit,
Oh,
this is what
you guys
board
do?
games are?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
This is what you fucking losers do in the
Yeah,
basement.
this is what you dumb, smelly dweebs are up to, you neck-bearded fucks. What'd you think of this one, Natalie?
It's funny that you say that because I think a while ago we played Rise of Augustus with Lexi, and she was very good at that too. She like got it and was like playing it.
Right, bingo.
But yeah, I mean, this is a very simple version of, in my opinion, like a game. You know, it's not like a kid game, not like a party game, not like a little, whatever kind of game.
Yeah, this little whatever kind of game.
This is like a game that we play, just simplified. And I love that the kids can understand how to play on their own, and it gives them the experience of like placing workers, collecting resources, buying cards, getting abilities. Like most games they play don't have all that stuff, and that's all the stuff in the games that we play. And so I really like exposing them to that, I guess.
Yes.
And then seeing that they like got it and they liked it kind of like gives us hope for the future.
What else
When
could
they're-
you like?
generation.
I mean, like when they're
Yeah.
older, like, oh, maybe they will actually be into the games that we play.
Well, I feel like we haven't
they're old
seen
enough.
Lexi specifically light up like that.
Yeah.
Like before, she'd be like, "Oh, this is fun," or like, "We'll play the RPG," and she's like, "Yeah, I can do whatever I want." But this one, she was kind of like, she was just staring at her board and all the stuff she had,
Yeah.
and looking at the cards, and then she looked at me, and she was just like, oh,
Right.
"I know
She
exactly
was
what I'm going to do," and she
strategizing.
like was like, "I cannot wait for my turn. This is going to
She
be
was
so
even
cool."
the entire game. She was keeping track of all her points because
Yeah.
it wasn't just like you have a pile of
Nerd.
like coins, and that's your points. Like there was like points in coins, points on cards, points from abilities that were endgame points, and so she was like tracking it all.
Yeah,
she's like, so I have like 33 right now.
Yep.
And so it was like, I don't know, it was really cool.
Seeing her
to
get
see
it.
that,
That's cool.
and I don't know. To me, it was better than most kid versions of games. I like it better than like Zombie Kids and games like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was very simple. I wouldn't just like play it with you or something, but like
That's
to play
rude.
with them.
You
Fucking
idiot.
rude.
And the most embarrassing
I might 'cause
part
you're dumb,
was
so I
I
guess-
actually was trying, and I literally came in last place out of all of
And
these.
you played the original Everdell. You kind of know, like,
And she even said that. She's like,
I'm gonna kick your
She was like,
ass,
oh my God, how did I
kids.
lose? She's like, Scarlett and Lexi beat me. Cameron won.
Yeah.
And Lexi and
Like I
Scarlett
thought I was
tied,
gonna
and Natalie
win.
was
I'm like counting my
last.
points, like, oh, I'm gonna win. I'm
Idiots.
clearly gonna kick all their
Stupid
asses, and I was
kids.
like, oh my God, I just lost.
Like I lost to the 6-year-old.
That's great.
Who's never played a game in her life, basically. Oh, man.
embarrassing.
So thanks again to Starling Games for My Little Everdell. It's a really, really good game for kids.
Cool.
We're gonna bring it to Origins and play it more with them. So we're looking forward to
Yes.
it. Jeff, what else you got, man?
Yeah, last one. This is going to be Expansion Corner. Okay?
All
right.
And then I want to talk really quick about a game I played with Joe and Jen and Devin. So, Expansion Corner. First one, I added in the Furnace.
The Ferniest Furnace.
Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, I love that show.
So the Furnace expansion is called Interbellum. It's the first one. The both of you know how much I really like Furnace.
Lady
Natalie
Interbellum.
has played Furnace.
Yes.
Ryan has not.
I still haven't played it.
I know.
I almost bought it.
This is again
Favorite mini
another
word?
auction bidding thing that I think Natalie actually liked.
I did like this game.
more.
What?
I know. I'm shocked. So
This
this
is different, though, I think.
there's an engine building thing which I think you liked, but there's I don't know what you liked about this more Furnace than
I
you
feel
did.
like, wasn't this like,
Probably.
This is the number
it was more
one
like
game. You were like, so you can't put the same, like you can't put two of your
you're
tokens
like
on
kind
the
of like
same.
play,
or,
yeah, you're like, it's not the same.
makes sense.
You can visually see everything you're gonna get that round.
Aren't you
or
like
could.
putting your stuff on like spots that you want, and then you may or may not like win them
On the cards,
but you,
right,
But you
yep.
have like multiple things to put out there.
Yes,
To me, that's different than like there's one thing that everybody's going for.
sure. You can visually see everything that you could or aren't
right.
gonna get that round.
and
yeah,
and it's not like there's multiple things. So like if I lose these, I might get these though. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
so this Interbellum, which that's the interwar period. So this is like the 1920s.
It's a country singer.
20s, yeah.
Lady Antebellum.
Lady
And
Antebellum.
this adds new company cards, which are those ones that you add to your engine. It adds new player power cards. It adds this.
Ooh.
This my favorite part of this expansion. It adds just new bidding tokens. So usually in the game you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's your bidding tokens.
Okay.
They're different sizes in case you're number blind. That's this one, right?
That's
That's
right.
this one,
yeah.
That's this game. God, that was funny.
There is this new token that you can spend coal resource to increase the number. So it's actually like a little dial that you can put. So you can
Ooh.
actually go all the way up to like 9.
Is
You
it
can go
bigger
more
than the
that.
4?
It is. It's bigger than the 4, and it can go like up to 9 plus if you
Oh
want.
shit.
So that's like the coolest thing because you can. The coal was sort of a lame duck resource. You had to turn coal into something else to get like this process. So this makes for a little bit more sneaky play where it's like the 4 isn't going to win automatically. Like I can sneak and be like,
Yeah.
oh, I just put a 6 there. Haha. So I like that a lot. That was pretty cool. It added these manager tokens, which are sort of powers that go onto the cards already in your engine.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sold on that, but it's cool. It's more things that you can bid on because you have an extra token. So this is the other stuff you can bid on. For example, like you win this little tile and you put it on a card and it says that tile can activate or that card can activate twice. Or this one allows you to reset or give you another something, right? I think that I will add this in with my game group for sure. We're all very familiar with the game that I think will continually add Interbellum in. If I'm introducing it to someone brand new, I probably leave it out until they've played
Yeah,
it. Maybe
okay,
once
that
or
makes
twice.
sense.
It's not like an automatic add to every game with everybody.
Because it actually does increase complexity.
Yeah, but it's an automatic add for me to people who have played the game before.
Well, let me ask you this. Were you satisfied without the expansion? Like, would you have kept playing it and been
Yes.
fine, or did it need this?
Yeah, I think maybe I had 5-6 more plays
Okay.
before I was like, I need
I'm probably
something
gonna
else.
be done. Yeah.
But this is cool. The player powers are great. I always those will always be in for sure. I'll always add those in. I'll add the company cards in because you can do them in kind of separate things. So I'll add the company cards in. I might for new people leave the bidding token out and the manager token out.
Okay.
But again, a good expansion to an already very good game if you're looking into it. The other expansion I want to touch on very quickly, it's barely an expansion, is I played Rolling Realms again.
Okay.
You guys like Rolling Realms?
Yeah, we did like Rolling Realms.
So I got the first like expansion pack to that, which I think you already have. It's Terra Mystica, Libertalia.
we had the first 9.
Okay, shit. I only have 3.
Yeah.
So I have the base 9. The base 9 came with it? 10? Whatever.
Something. Yeah.
Plus these 3, Terra Mystica, Libertalia, and Rolling Realms. So the Rolling Realms expansion to Rolling Realms.
Yep.
And if you don't know Rolling Realms, it's a roll and write where you're rolling things, you're writing numbers on stuff, checking off boxes, normal roll and write stuff. But Stonemaier does this cool thing where they try to theme all the expansion cards that everybody gets into a different game. It's
Right.
super cool.
It's so cool.
And
I loved that. It's
Yeah.
infinitely expandable forever.
Yeah, really.
yeah, and it's mostly like the game is the same.
And it's the expansion is just like a card.
Yeah, it's 6 cards because you can
Oh,
play
yeah.
with
Right.
like
Yeah.
so the
But
Terra
yeah,
Mystica
right.
expansion pack came with 6 cards where everyone just gets. And
I
then,
like the Terra Mystica one. I thought
yeah,
that was a really cool
I thought
one.
that was
Yeah.
cool. I thought they're pretty like they do their best to make it sort of like fit a theme.
Yeah.
Like in Charterstone, you're getting these resources. In Terra Mystica,
You're moving across the
you're moving
thing.
across
Right.
the thing. Collect, so it's like it's just an easy thing to like pick up. And what's kind of cool is I think they're only like $5 on the Stonemaier website. But if you buy like the new game that comes out, it usually has like the free add-on for the expansion,
Oh,
which is
cool.
just kind of a cool.
It's a great
Again,
marketing campaign.
It is. It's, again,
Infinitely expandable.
shockingly. Is anybody shocked that Stonemaier can market?
Right.
Do you think it's
No.
infinitely expandable?
I think you could expand it. Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Forever.
I wouldn't go that far. I'd say that it's probably finitely expandable.
Fine. Yeah, yeah. So those are 2
Don't get
expansions
crazy.
that are solid. Joe, Jen, Devin, and myself played this game called 50 Clues, which if
Is
you
it
had
like
to
20
guess,
questions?
no. It's
Escape
like
room.
an escape room
game.
puzzle
Escape room game.
murdery game. Okay, which everyone knows I love these games, and I will
Hell
play
yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, you want
Joe
them all.
went on Miniature Market and went fucking bananas in some
He likes to do that.
Some,
We'll probably had a
like-
sale, right?
some sale where he got like these 50 clues and he bought this weird ass game called Helios something something.
Ooh,
for like
Helios?
$3, not that Helios. Because that Helios is cool.
Yeah.
The Helios
He
he
likes
got
to
was
buy
like
the not cool
$3.
He does. He's like, oh, unicorn is nice. Moa? Oh, let's get these games.
He bought these. So what he did is he bought a bunch of games for his like November Extra Life giveaways and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
he bought a
very
bunch.
Because
cool.
it was on sale.
Yeah, so he bought this like 50 clues, has these 2 different packs, and we played the Pendulum of the Dead Lady or something. The Pendulum of the Dead.
The Pendulum of the
And-
Dead Lady.
yeah,
That is, I
something like
got
that.
it.
Like a dead
How,
lady's like,
how does the
"Wee,
tenor of that
wee."
change? The Pendulum of the Dead sounds so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Add the word lady at the end and it
it
starts.
is called the Pendulum of the Dead.
Okay.
I added
Yeah.
lady.
But no, adding lady makes it way
it's
funnier.
Dead Lady.
It does.
The Pendulum of
And
the Dead
so
Lady.
that one by itself, 50 Clues, Pendulum of the Dead Lady, has 3 things to it. And then there's another one with another 3, whatever. We played like box 1 of this thing, okay? It feels like an unlock. There are numbers on cards. You connect these numbers. What do you want to do? I want to do card 452 with this one. You type it in and
Yeah.
it tells you something, right?
Like
It just
they ripped it
uncovers.
off?
Oh, cool.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But
to,
who cares, right?
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard
another
to not
version.
do. Like, what else are you going to do that's creative other than escaping where you're cutting shit up or whatever?
Yeah.
This is. Here's where this thing has a twist. Right. This is maybe the darkest adult themed escape puzzle
Oh,
game I've
really?
played.
Oh, really? What's about Dead
And-
Lady?
It got scary.
And again, I've played a lot of them, but you know, like the Echoes one was about like a speakeasy, and like there might be a cuss word in there. There's drinking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Unlocks. There's like nothing that really goes beyond like a 12-year-old in terms of
Right.
like
True.
if you rated it, right? I think everything in Unlock would be PG or PG-13.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Agreed.
This is close to like an R-rated thing.
Really?
There's not like sex.
So it's the
might be
Gamecasters
sex in there,
of
But it's more
a
like
escape room.
disturbing.
It's disturbing and dark. So, for
you're
example,
describing our podcast.
I'm not spoiling anything. I'm
Disturbing
giving
and dark.
I'm giving like adjacent examples of
Okay.
what might happen
Yeah.
in this game. So you might be driving a car and you flip over a card and there's a woman that's like stop, and you can just choose to fucking run her over,
Oh my god.
or like hey, you have this body. What are you going to do with it? And you have to choose to like bury it.
Oh my
Like I'm gonna
gosh.
bury a body, or throw this thing over there and hurt someone, or like,
Holy shit.
so it's like dark
Secrets,
themed,
secrets.
maybe
Hurt someone.
for like no reason.
Oh, okay.
I've
It's
read
more
some of these.
Maybe like
gratuitous.
that's what
Well-
they do to be different.
I think so, but it's not like it fit with what you're doing. Like this theme is, so we are escaping like an asylum. So it tells you in the beginning, pretend like you're Maria, you were in this asylum, do what she would do. So you kind of like you're doing crazy things because you were in an asylum, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Or you're at least trying to break out of this asylum. So I read some of the comments on BGG, and people are like, "This is kind of dark." And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
yeah, it is. It's not an
What
unlock.
you're saying also sounds a little different from unlock is that you get to make decisions.
Yeah, like you do have to do that, right? Like hitting the person with the car is what you have to do.
Oh, okay.
So yes, I said it wrong in terms of like,
I see.
go around the person or hit them with the
Okay,
car.
I
No,
see.
you have to hit them with the car
right,
to move
that's
on.
the option.
So that's where it is the same, right? You're plugging
That's
these
the
numbers in
pendulum of the
together
dead
to
lady.
do
Yeah.
the dead lady. And you got to hit her. You got to hit her with the car
Fucking
to
hit
get
her.
the pendulum.
Hit her ass.
But anyway, it was kind of cool. I think it's pretty cheap mostly everywhere. If Miniature Market was throwing them away, I feel like, and Joe bought a bunch of them. I'd be happy to play them again because I like all these type of games.
Yeah.
If you already have a whole bunch of unlocks, there's no reason to get this one.
Sure.
Or if you want to hit people with cars and you want
fucking hit
to
'em.
make
Or
it
you
like a
played all
dark
the
themed.
unlocks.
Yeah, if you're
Here's a
out of
new
unlocks.
version,
Yeah,
kind
maybe
of.
you really love Grand Theft Auto. And
Yeah,
you're like, I wish
hitting
I had a
people.
board game version of that.
Yep.
Let me
Yeah.
just fucking pop these prostitutes in the
Yep.
face.
Bam.
Wow.
If you're looking to support the show, maybe consider flushing your money down the Gamecasters toilet by way of our Patreon page. There are 4 different tiers which will get you access to behind-the-scenes content, exclusive content, or content ahead of time. You will also get swag that nobody else has access to, and just the opportunity to help out and support a podcast which you sometimes listen to. We have amazing patrons. Thank you so much for your support, guys. If you'd like to donate to help us pay for things like hosting fees and that blank that Jeff's had his eye on, please head on over to patreon.com/The Gamecasters to help out. The Gateway Network is now defunct, but our merchandise isn't. If you're looking to get some great Gamecasters or Mad Board Gamer gear, head on over to thegatewaynetwork.com/store and you'll find that there. We have also partnered up with Tim of Sir Meeple, who is creating custom Gamecasters designs for us, so you can go to sirmeeple.com, click the pull down under creators, and find us there under Board Game Podcasts. More stuff will be added frequently, and what a great way to support 2 creators at the same time. A dream for most of us, am I right, Natalie? So once again, that's sirmeeple.com. You click the pull down under creators and find us under Board Game Podcasts. Possibly the best way to interact with all of us, though, is via our Discord server. If you go to the Gamecasters Instagram page, you can check out our link tree in our bio to get access to our server. It's a great way to engage with all 3 of us on a daily basis, as well as meet a bunch of like-minded, awesome people. So check out our Discord server. Why don't you step inside? Come on, it's warm in there. You think you found some grass, but nope, it's pubic hair. You wonder why there's so much underwear. You stepped inside of Natalie's nook.
Today on Natalie's Nook, I'm going to share some information with you about the history of board games.
Oh, shit.
Sit back and grab your
Jack
notebook.
off.
And snooze. One of the first recorded board games is called Senet. It's an ancient Egyptian board game created around 3500 BC.
Damn.
Senate?
That's somewhere in between the time when Franklin R. Table
Yep.
or whatever his name is.
Franklin.
Furniture table.
Richard Furniture Table.
So
Yeah.
this game was called Senate, and then it turned into a Coney Island around Michigan.
I love the Senate Coney Island.
Senate Coney Island. It's great.
That's
It's like
that's one of the best ones.
SENET. They found
So is Coney Island.
like remains of this game in like
What's
burials.
it like? Like, what is it?
Don't ask me that.
Well, do you have pictures of what it looks like?
I mean,
just
I saw some
hieroglyphics.
pictures.
Yeah, like, is it
but
just like a is it like a dice? Does it use dice?
I don't remember.
Does it have dual layer stone tablets?
It should.
Shut up.
Did you get the upgraded one?
If you can get dual layer
Yeah.
stone tablets,
you should.
And then you threw me off. Okay. So this was like an ancient Egyptian board game. Egyptians also created a game called Hounds and Jackals around 2000 BC. And these games were often a pastime for royalty to entertain themselves. A lot of the early games were in places like the Middle East and in Europe and China. Another extremely old board game is backgammon, created by Mesopotamians around 5,000 years ago. And this is one of like the oldest ones that is also still played today. And then there's Go, a Chinese board game that existed for
That's
well
a
over
long-
2,500
That
years.
someone is
Name.
still playing from the first game
Right, really.
that was ever started.
yeah.
And board games did not take off in colonial America at first because they were considered frivolous. Everyone's time was dedicated to maintaining the home and long hours spent at work. And also, religion played a factor because at the time it was feared that board games would be too much of a temptation. Dice, tools often used for gambling, were seen as sinful. And so while games were kind of popular over in Europe and like that side of the world, when in colonial America, like it wasn't really like taking off at all at the beginning. And then it says one of the first board games published in the U.S. was called Traveler's Tour Through the United States and was published in 1822.
Whoa.
I know. So it was like pretty.
Traveler's Tour Through the United States? That name just
Yep.
grips you.
I know.
Damn.
That's so
Really rolls off the
fun.
tongue.
Wow. I saw that at RIW and I was like, I gotta have this fucking thing.
So then they started like making some games, and as time went on and technology progressed, people began to find that they had more time to dedicate to leisure activities. And in the mid 1800s, more board games were released as a result of this. And the Game of Life was published in 1860, and some say it caused one of the
1860?
first bursts in board game popularity because it was relatable. And then after like this
Chess?
game came out, games became more acceptable. to, like,
18, you
play.
said 1860?
Yeah.
It's like the year before the Civil War started. People were playing the game.
I found a little bit of detail about hounds and jackals.
Okay.
It's also
it a
known
jackal?
Hounds and Is it jackal? Jackal. Is it
Is it
jackal? Jackal. Is it Hounds and Jackals, also known as 58 Holes, which is my favorite brothel in the
Yep,
Red District of
58
Detroit,
holes, yeah,
is a well-known Bronze Age board game, which was invented in ancient Egypt 4,000 years ago. Now it says the name is 58 Holes, and then for rules it says the game is played with 2 players. The board has 2 sets of 29 holes.
Okay.
Gaming pieces are 10 small sticks with either a jackal.
Jackal?
Is it jackal?
That's
Wait,
jackal.
hold on. Is it jackal? It's jackal or dog heads. One player takes 5 jackal heads.
Jackal. Is it jackal?
I think it's jackal heads.
Jackal?
And the other player takes 5 dog heads. The aim of the game was perhaps to start at one point of the board and to reach with all figures another point of the board. The hole on the top of the board is slightly bigger than the others and accepted as the end point for the players. So that's hounds and jackals. It
Did you
was
look up Senate?
called,
SENET?
well, hold on. It was called 58 Holes by William Matthew Flinders Petrie because the game board features 58 holes.
Did he make the Petri dish?
The Petri dish. It's
very original.
He grew a human being in a Petri dish. Okay, what was it called? SENET?
Yeah.
SENETBOARD.
When I was looking up stuff, it did have a bunch of pictures of like old board game stuff, even like really old dice and just like board game pieces and stuff. And it's kind of cool looking.
It looks sweet. Senate or Senat, ancient Egypt, passing, is a board game from ancient Egypt that consists of 10 or more pawns on a 30-square playing board. The earliest representation of Senate is dated to 2620 BC from the Mastaba of Hesire. Okay, interesting. Let's look at I want to see real quick the gameplay here. Unfortunately, due to the game falling out of use during the Roman period, the exact detailed rules of play are not known.
Ooh, we'll never know.
The Senate board itself was usually constructed out of wood, ivory, phalens, or some combination of these materials. And the layout of the board is blah, 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 blah. No one knows.
Can you
Continue.
imagine
Okay.
having like an ivory playing like game board nowadays?
Fuck yeah, that'd be awesome.
I know, it'd be so sweet.
That's a stretch goal.
I know. People have like chess boards like that now made out of marble.
Right.
Yeah.
A series of board game. Oh yeah, we were talking about how like in like the 1800s is when
Life.
in America board games started to become a little more popular. And then a series of board games were developed from like 1906 through the 1930s that involved the buying and selling of land and the development of that land. So real interesting themes.
Those are some great themes.
And then by like 1933, a board game had been created much like the version of modern Monopoly. And then like soon after that, along came stuff that we know like Clue and Sorry and Trivial Pursuit, Risk and Pictionary and Candyland. And then fast forward to like today. You know, we kind of know the more recent.
going from Candyland to 2023.
we know the more recent history of board
true.
games and how it has progressed and like
From jackals and dogs.
it has like tremendously increased
cosmic
in popularity. And then there's just like a few more other like interesting facts. You guys probably already know this, but the study of gaming is called ludology.
Yep, ludology. There's a podcast named that too.
Yeah, don't talk
Yep.
about our podcast.
The oldest known kids game is hopscotch.
Okay, that's not a board game,
came
but
in a
whatever.
board,
I know,
board
but it's
game.
a game.
Okay, board game.
The first
hopscotch.
ever-
Stop jumping on the board. You're ruining the board.
This is for Ryan. The first ever chess tournament was in London in 1851, and chess was also loved by Ben Franklin, Voltaire, and Napoleon.
Oh, Voltaire. We know him from The Great.
I know. That's why I put it there.
Time out. So wait. So the first chess match did
Tournament.
What's his name? Hans
Hans
Zimmer.
Niemann.
Did Hans Zimmer win that one? And who's that guy?
Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus Carlsen
Magnus
win
Carlsen.
that.
Oh, yeah.
And you said
Probably.
Voldemort liked it too.
Yep,
Voldemort.
Okay, Voldemort.
Yeah.
Voltaire.
Yep.
He's in The Great.
Okay.
He's like a French guy, a writer. I don't know what he is.
I
Yeah, I
want the
think he's
bakery.
like a writer
Are you
or
sure he's
poet.
French? Are we
Wicked
sure he's
poet.
French?
No.
Yeah, he's French.
Maybe he's
Is
just
he?
pretending
He's
to be
French.
French.
Okay.
Oh, he might not. Yeah, that's right. He could be pretending. No, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
maybe he wanted to
Voltaire
open
is.
a bakery.
A Kickstarter campaign
Ben
of
Rosati.
exploding kittens raised $9 million.
Yeah, that was the
That
biggest
was-
one for a while.
Yes, I
it's
remember
not
that.
anymore, I don't think, but it was the biggest one.
And I read something. This is just a prediction, but it says the global board game market is predicted to exceed $30 billion by 2028.
Wow. That's a weird forecast.
I know.
2028.
Yeah,
Well,
why would they go there?
5-year projection. Mm-hmm. So the 5-year projection. What is that now? Do we know?
I think I read last year.
500,000.
It was like
$8.
it was like something more
It's
like
going to be a big boom.
5 billion or something like
Wow.
that.
So they're
Big boom.
expecting it to grow by a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's probably like the trend.
Yeah, right. Where
You know
does
what
it
I
go?
mean?
Right. From how fast it got to 5 billion.
Exactly.
Where a few years ago it was probably still in the millions, you know? It's like,
Yeah,
holy
exactly.
shit.
Yeah, all that stuff. I remember when we looked at games getting released every year and the amount of games getting released every single year, how just exponential growth that is
Yeah.
just absolute fucking bananas.
It's crazy. Kickstarter has really made it so
Yeah.
anybody can just put a fucking game
Yeah,
out
I also
there.
read that I think it was like there was like 7 board games a day that gets like what's the word?
Published,
Kickstarter.
produced,
back
Funded
funded,
in
crowdfunded.
Kickstarter. Yeah.
7 a day.
7 a
Man,
day.
6.4 of them suck.
Right.
Alien Frontiers back in the day was
Yeah.
the only one.
But it is true. I mean, like the amount of board games released has like gone crazy. The amount of board games that are like sold in stores, how many more stores sell them, has gone crazy.
Crazy.
How many just people in the hobby, how many board games they own in their home and have gone through even
Yeah, I
is
just
kind of
think
crazy.
like, where is it going to go? Like, what's the...
Is the
and
bubble going
everybody
to
thinks
burst?
about this all the time, right? With like technology. Well, how can we get better than a flip phone, right? How can we get better than
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
And we're sitting in virtual reality and
Right.
watching the Black Mirror show. And
Right. Now I can go onto Bing Image Create and just be like, you know, a midget fucking a dragon. And it'll be like, boop, there it is. Like,
Yeah.
what?
It's the... So like, we're sitting here going, all right, what's next? Something will be next.
Yep.
There will be something that
There'll
will
always
like
be
blow us
something.
away in board games in a year,
Okay,
and then in 2 years.
I know I
and,
talked
and that's
about
cool.
this before, but I'm reading this book by Neil deGrasse Tyson, and there's something else in it that he was talking about this kind of thing where like back in the day, you know, they were imagining what kind of things, you know, in 100 years, what will the world be like, and what actually happened wouldn't it even have like they could never even have come up with what we've done 100 years ago.
Yeah, like in their
Yeah.
dizziest daydreams.
Yeah,
Right.
Like they're like, ooh, everybody's gonna have a fax machine in their home. Little did they know, like we're like a million things beyond the fax machine, and that's like obsolete.
A fax
now.
machine is now a joke that people tell
Right,
about how
exactly.
old you are.
Yeah, like
So
where
like,
does this?
and even in board games, it's like, what's gonna happen next? Well, there's probably gonna be something that we can't even imagine that's gonna happen next.
Because really, there's a lot of games are starting to incorporate like technology, right?
Right.
There's app driven games. There is, you know, you can buy a tabletop thing that has like the board on
I want
a TV
that.
screen, right?
Give it to me.
And that's fucking cool.
yeah,
But there's still like people like me and you and most everybody else that we have physical copies of games. Is
Yeah.
that at some point going to disappear?
it might.
Maybe.
Like, do you just have like how many
everything-
of us display our DVD collection anymore?
Right.
Not many.
That was
right?
all we did.
That was
and
all anybody did.
CDs.
Yeah, so
we
it's
had
like-
towers.
So now I have this. We have all these Calyx. What's going to happen when I can just pull up this game on?
It's going to
Exactly.
just
Is
like
it-
appear on the
There's
table.
gonna be no more
somehow.
physical.
And that
Board
hurts my
games.
finger pads.
I know my finger
pads.
pads. Maybe they'll have some sort of haptic finger pad feedback thing.
Yeah, ooh, touch my finger pad.
Maybe
Yeah.
it'll be like a hologram thing you put in the middle of your table.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. And you can
actually,
haptic it.
like
Yeah.
Iron Man almost. You wear
Yeah.
you wear the power glove. You can wear the power glove, and I can move things.
We regress technologically back to
Back
the power
to the
glove.
power glove,
Well,
yeah.
technology is cyclical.
It's cyclical. Yep. The beeper king.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm interested to know. I'm interested to see the evolution.
Where
of our hobby.
is
Sure.
gaming going to go? That is one of the more exciting things to think about. I'm here for all of it. There's a lot of Luddites who do not want apps in games. They don't want technology. I'm here. Give it all to me. I want to try it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to try it.
I just want to have fun. I don't give a fuck about like, oh, it has to be on a board for me to have a good. I don't give a shit. I just want to just show me something fun.
Yeah, I want to. I'm into trying.
How can I have fun?
Yeah, you
show
can call
me.
it whatever. You can call it a video game. That's fine. I'm still having fun.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
it.
I'm having a good time.
Right,
right?
yeah.
Hanging out with you guys. So cool. That was a good one. You guys are going to need the dingers. You know why? That's right. Here we are again with another round of the Association Station. I'm back with 10 games for Jeff and Natalie to guess based on the clues I give them. Example, skirmish boobs, answer.
War chest.
All right. So we have 10 games. Are you guys ready for the Association Station?
Who's got what bell?
I feel like we haven't. Jeff has Grandma's bell.
Grandma's.
I feel like we haven't played the Association Station in a while, even though we probably played it a couple episodes ago.
I think I want a shirt that says Grandma's Bell.
Grandma's bell.
Design that says
I'll
Grandma's
put it
Bell.
on the quilt,
Grandma.
please.
All right.
Here we go. Number 1.
She'll live forever. in the
Keira
quilt.
Knightley, Kim Kardashian, Kevin Kline, Chris Christopherson.
Well, I mean, I see what they have in common, but
Yeah, me too.
Keira Knightley, Kim Kardashian, Kevin Kline,
Yeah, we know that.
Chris Christopherson.
but what's the game?
Chris Christopherson. Christopherson. Who is Chris Christopherson?
Is he an actor?
Well, it's clearly something with K's.
Yeah.
But what? KK, double K.
Oh, KK. But Kieran.
Oh, he's a singer.
KKs.
He's a singer-songwriter.
2K.
I knew that.
2K.
Oh, he wrote
2K.
Bobby McGee.
Y2K.
Maybe.
They got
He wrote-
double
or he
K's
sang.
across the
Oh.
sky.
Oh, maybe the.
K. Number 1.
All right, number 2.
K's.
Number 2, extraterrestrial countrysides. Jeff,
Alien Frontier.
Alien
Oh,
Frontiers. Correct.
Got
Nicely
one.
done. All right, number 3. What Andrew Bosley named his penis?
Who's Andrew Bosley?
Andrew Bosley.
Is that a sports
Oh.
guy?
Jeff.
My Little Everdell.
Yes, my little Everdell. He did the artwork for
He did the
Everdell.
artwork for Everdell.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Andrew Bosley named his penis my little
Natalie
Everdell.
didn't like that one.
Of course you did. Oh, of course.
I didn't know who
Who's
that
Andrew Bosley,
was.
even though Ryan just talked about him 2 minutes ago. Number 4. Low sugar, high protein.
Low sugar.
The hell? Low sugar, high protein.
Low sugar, high protein.
The diet.
Yeah.
Low sugar, high protein. Is it keto? Is there a game called keto?
I don't know. Is it?
Keto.
Keto.
What are you saying? Gen X?
Ketogenics.
Ketogenic.
Keto Generation X.
Keto. Low sugar, high protein.
Low sugar, high protein.
High protein diet. Low sugar, high protein.
Lots of meat.
Give me that meat.
Give me that meat.
Lots
Don't
of
give me that processed food.
Lots of meat.
No sugar and
I don't
no
know.
processed food.
I'm blanking.
Give me the meat like I had in the olden days. All right. Number 5.
What?
Livonia, Michigan,
Yeah.
or Commerce, Michigan. Natalie.
My city.
Yes, my dear.
Oh.
I feel like I'm going to be wrong, but can I guess for the KK one?
Yes.
Is it crisscross?
Natalie guesses crisscross every third episode.
No, I don't.
Yes,
Crisscross starts with
you
C.
do.
I know it starts with C's, but I was like, that has the same sound. Like
She
it's
guesses
2 words.
crisscross. I'm gonna go
Keira
back.
Knightley was the first thing I said.
I need everyone to listen to 115 episodes of this fucking show. Actually, you only gotta listen to like 90.
She does love crisscross. No, it's not
Natalie has
crisscross.
said the word crisscross
No,
in
I
at least 20 episodes.
I think this is something Dan would do. Dan, go back
Yeah.
and listen to.
I think you've said crisscross. It's been on top 5 lists. You've guessed it.
No, Ryan just
She loves
says that I love
crisscross.
it.
She fucking loves it.
I don't. It's just
Well, you
fine.
did just
Well,
guess
they
it right
make
now.
you jump, you know? So, all right.
Keira Knightley, Kim Kardashian, Kevin Kline, Chris Christopherson. You also missed low sugar, high protein.
Yep.
Low sugar.
Low sugar, high pro.
All right, here we go.
Low
Number
sugar.
6. Enfamil for the ladies.
Enfamil for the ladies. What number is this? 6.
Isn't that?
You know what Enfamil is?
Yes.
Enfamil
Okay.
is
I
baby
do.
formula.
The formula.
For the lady.
What's baby formula for the ladies? Baby
I'm
formula.
gonna guess it's like wine, right?
Well, then guess vinos.
Enfamil for the ladies. Did you see what she did?
Or
She had her hand over the belt. She goes,
oh my god, Natalie,
I have no idea.
just ding in and guess.
she can't risk dinging in.
If you ding in and guess, I'll ding in and guess something that's wrong too.
Natalie.
Vignos.
No, I mouthed no to you.
Oh,
when
you did?
No, of course I did not.
No, because he's not helping
Is
you.
it not
I'm not going to help you cheat to win.
Time.
No, it's
What
not
if
Vinos.
Enfamil for the ladies is something dirty, like it's Ryan's seed?
There's no game
it's like-
called Ryan Seed.
I know, but what if that's the train of thought? Was
boy.
that baby formula for the lady, like his babies come?
If you're
in
comparing
seed.
that to baby formula, you're a sick man.
You don't think Ryan would? Have you listened to the fucking show?
She didn't know I was a sick man,
She didn't know. What the fuck? It was in your vows.
I vowed to love you and cherish you, even though you're
Even
a
though
sick
you
Even though
talk
you're
about
sick fuck.
Enfamil for the ladies.
And
All right, we'll move on. Number 7.
man, we're doing really bad.
Yeah,
This
we
is a
are.
secret
2 to
mission I
1.
had when I was younger. I called it Operation Oral.
What are we?
What?
What are we doing? We're not gonna get any of these.
You are. You can get them.
Operation Oral.
Operation Oral.
When you were younger,
Yeah. I it was a secret mission.
secret.
Operation Oral?
Operation Oral. You can get these. You can do this.
Is this sexual or like
This is
oral
sexual.
hygiene?
Is it
No, this is sexual. This is 100%.
Could be about brushing your teeth.
Okay. Natalie?
Flossing.
Nope,
This is
that's
my
not-
wife.
Flossing.
Yep. Oh, I didn't know you talked like that.
I know.
My God.
Hold on. He might not mean that. He might mean brushing your teeth.
I don't even understand.
Is there a game about
What is
flossing?
wrong with
Like Col-
you?
Col-
Sometimes
Colgate or
people
something?
brush their tongue.
Crest.
Colgate
whitening.
or something. No,
All right.
here's what it's about. Operation Oral. When he was younger, he was trying to get oral.
Yeah.
He was trying to get
Just like every
his
young
dick
man.
wet. Okay? That's what he was trying to do.
You wanted a
So,
BJ.
what game? Let's just talk this out because we suck
Okay,
so fucking
let's talk
bad.
it out
No,
together.
you can do it. It
Let's
must
just try
be
to work
me.
it
Ryan,
out.
as a young person, let's hope he's at least like he's not
Young
Let's
teenage
hope.
Ryan
We can only hope.
wants
young,
a fucking BJ.
wants a beeger, and he calls it Operation Oral.
Operation
so he
Oral.
goes out to get a beeger, and he needs to find someone to give him a beeger.
Okay.
And he calls it. He's like, "This is Operation Oral. I have an idea, and it's gonna be."
I'm going to give you one clue.
Okay.
Go the other way.
Oh,
He wants it-
He wants to give oral.
He wants to suck someone's dick.
to give a BJ.
He wants to give a blowjob. So Ryan is on a mission.
Got it. We nailed it, Jeff. We nailed it. He wants the LP.
Ryan wants to. Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Ellipy. Ellipy is a name
Ooh,
or
okay.
something. We should get it. The next animal we get, we should name it Ellipy.
Like Penelope.
Yeah.
E-
But
EL.
Ellipy for short.
Okay, so Ryan wants to
LAP.
suck some D. Now he's on a mission
Or
to do it.
LP. Okay.
Okay, he wants the LP or he wants the S&Ds.
S&Ds.
So
Okay.
I called it Operation Oral.
Yeah, so you're
That's
on.
that's what I need you
Operation
to
Oral.
associate.
We need to.
Okay.
Needs to.
Is there something
about
about like
machines and licking them?
like cats? Or like
about machines
or
and
like-
lick 'em.
cats or dicks?
All right, while you're thinking about that, let's move to the next one.
Operation.
This one, it's funny. I honestly thought, I was like, okay, this one's the hard one. The next one.
Is that what this was? Is that
Oh,
the hard one?
God.
Oh.
No. Number 8, I Am Legend.
With Will Smith.
I also think it's clever, but
I Am
it might be
Legend with Will Smith.
Isn't that a Will Smith movie?
different. Yes.
I Am John Legend.
I Am Legend. Isn't there like kind of like zombie things in that movie?
Legend.
It's like an apocalypse type movie, right?
But he's also being creative. When he was younger, he
I
wanted
thought
to-
I was so creative.
I thought a lot of times I am like, this is the clue that everyone's gonna be
I
like, oh,
am
you're a genius,
legend.
and then nobody gets it, and it's
I
like,
am
oh,
Groot.
I'm just dumb.
Natalie, we have 3 out of
I say we like scratch
What are we
the
even
points and work
doing?
together to just
Yeah,
try to
okay,
get
that work
them.
together.
Okay, okay.
All right, number 9. Blank blank kachoo.
Cuckoo, kachoo. Cuckoo. Coo.
Chew. Well, chew.
Is that something with chickens?
Chickens.
What is, I don't know. What's cuckoo kachoo mean?
I don't know if it's cuckoo chew. I think I'm closer.
You said
Yeah, like you're about to sneeze, motherfucker. What do you think this is?
Wait, what did you say? Say the clue again.
Blank blank kachoo.
Ah, Oh, I see.
Thank you.
But Kachu, it's Achu, not Akachu.
Akachu? Who's an Akachu?
That's a bird.
Oh, okay. So what do you think it is?
Blank-
Kakakachu?
No,
What the hell did you
Cuckoo
say?
Kachu.
Cuckoo Kachu.
Isn't that a thing?
Yes.
Cuckoo Kachu.
Okay, what the fuck is it then?
I know, what the
I don't
fuck?
cuckoo
What kind of
Kachu. I don't know
board game
what cuckoo Kachu is.
It's like a cuckoo bird?
I'm thinking about Operation Oral. That's all I think about.
Oh my god, we
Cuckoo
suck.
Kachu.
Let's go to the last one.
Fucking
Oh,
bird.
Jesus.
God damn it.
Porn title for the tortoise fucking the hare. What
What?
would the porn title for that be?
Slow and steady. That's it. We got it.
The porn title for the tortoise fucking the hare?
Fuck.
Tortoise fucking the hare.
If there was a board game called Slow and Steady, that's better.
Turtles and bunnies.
You guys, I am sorry. I thought I
No,
killed it with
oh my
this.
God.
I was like,
People are
I
yelling.
think this is great. I think I'm doing good
I
here.
forgot
This must be the worst one I've ever
I
done.
forgot every game that I've
No,
ever
it's the worst
played.
one we've ever
Ever
done.
played.
You're probably
Okay.
fine.
I don't know.
So we got Kakakachu.
You got Keira Knightley, Kim
Lickin-
Kardashian, Kim Kardashian.
So it's got to be
Kevin
a
Kline.
board game that has two words that both start with K. But what the fuck?
Yeah,
My clue here is I think Jeff will get this
King Kamino.
quicklier than Natalie.
Kamino. King Kakakachuku.
We also have low sugar, high protein.
Yeah, that's keto. Isn't that keto?
My
Keto.
other clue for that is
Optavia.
all meat long ago. That's my clue. And then Enfamil.
Oh,
for the-
paleo.
You got to ding in.
Paleo.
Yes, correct.
Paleo
Or are you guys
diet.
doing?
That's a diet.
You guys are doing cooperatively this
Yeah,
time. Yes,
absolutely.
paleo.
Okay, I'm a little surprised now letting go. Let's keep score now.
Yeah, I know. Me
no.
too. Man, she wants to though. Also, Enfamil for the ladies.
Oh yeah, I'm from
Oh,
for
yeah.
the ladies.
Formula for the ladies.
Baby
so
formula
it doesn't,
for the
it's
ladies.
not wine related.
It's not
Or is it?
wine.
Or is it?
You know that it's not
That'd be
vinos.
weird.
That's what
That'd
you
be
know.
weird. That'd be weird.
Then you
Formula
have
for
the
the
secret mission when I was younger, and I called it Operation Oral.
Yeah, and it's who wants to-
And then I Am Legend.
Operation Oral.
Blank. I'm just gonna give it one blank. Blank Kachu.
Now what is it?
That'll be easier.
Kakachu? What did you say?
Okay, it's blank
Cuckoo
blank
Kachu.
Kachu, but
Coo. Now it's Kukachu.
Coo. It's Coo.
it's Coo.
Oh, that's a game.
Coo. Yes.
You're right.
Coop.
Coop.
Yeah,
Coop. Coop. Coop.
Ow.
Coop. Choop.
And then the last one, porn title
Koopa Troopa.
for the tortoise fucking the hare. Fucking the hare. You let me know when you want me to start giving these to you.
Turtle.
Can we give them to you?
Okay. Turtle bangs.
A turtle
bunny.
bang. Yeah.
Hey
it's like
bangs,
Oh.
hey bangs.
It's a clever porn name for a turtle fucking. Don't know.
The tortoise fucking the hare.
bunny. Something bunny.
I'll give you a
Is
clue.
there bunny?
The tortoise and the hare. What is that?
It's a fairy
Story?
tale about running slowly.
Okay,
It's like a folk tale.
you're close. Yes.
Fuck tale.
Another. What's another? Man, you're killing it with these porn titles.
Instead of ducktail, it's fucktail.
Fuck tails. Woo. Fuck tails.
Oh man.
Sorry. Wait, where were we? Folk tales or like folklore?
You're
But
like right.
folklore.
You're like tickling the
I am
spot.
pickling the
Tickling the
Yeah.
operation.
pickling.
You're like right around the little bean there.
What?
All right. You want me to start giving them to you slowly? Keira Knightley, Kim Kardashian, Kevin Kline, Christopherson, K2.
Oh shit.
K2.
K2.
Yeah, it's a
What
game.
is that?
It's a mountain.
It's a game about the mountains. The
don't
the
know
K2
that.
mountain. You don't know that game?
No.
Okay.
I feel like I wrote down.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Sorry
wrote
about that.
No, that was good.
Okay.
clue.
Here we go.
you I was
Enfamil for the
dumb.
ladies might be called Formula D.
Oh, I knew it was a dick one.
Damn.
I know it's a dick thing. See?
I was thinking a drink.
Yeah, you got real nice.
You were. Well, hold
would
on.
not
Maybe he's
think
not
like that.
doing it like that.
Ryan is not
Oh,
that
if
type
he
of
uses
Ryan.
it, if that's that, then he's going to
He
be
is
disgusting.
disgusting.
I didn't know this. The secret mission I had when I was younger that was Operation Oral. You might call it Project L.
Oh, because you wanted to.
Oh, Project
Yep, LP. When you said LP, and then Jeff was like, "What about licking?" I was like, "Oh, they're going to get it. They're going to get it any second." Project
Yeah.
Operation Oral could be Project L.
Totally.
I Am Legend. You guessed. I'll say you're on the right track with who's in the movie.
Will Smythe.
Smith.
It's a zombie. There's a
The
dog in
Pursuit
there.
of Happiness.
You got it. The Pursuit of Happiness. No. So he is the.
Last Survivor. He's the something. What's the game called?
You just said. You just.
Last.
Code.
Last.
What's his name?
Last Will.
Last Will. That's good.
It's Last
the
Will.
game?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's Last
okay.
Will.
That's good.
Yes, Last Will. That was the one that I was like, this is going to be hard, but if they
Yeah,
get
that's
it,
hard.
maybe they'll
That's a
think
good
it's
one.
clever. But it
That
turns
is
out
clever.
it was stupid.
No, that was very
And
clever.
the porn
We're
title
just dummies.
for the tortoise, fucking the hare, Stuffed Fables.
Oh my god.
That's good. Nice.
I'm so sorry, guys. I had
that
fun
was-
reading
No,
those.
those were
on
good.
us.
We just, yeah.
I forgot every game I've ever played.
I know, me too. I'm sitting
I'm
there and I'm
even
like,
looking
think
at
of
them.
any game. Just think of one.
Think of one game. Just ding in and say Amerigo.
If you got those at home, I would
crisscross.
love if you could like tell us in the Discord. It's always fun to hear. Like I was screaming
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
car. Okay, for the top 5, I normally introduce the top 5, and Natalie's had the zoomies, and she is running away from me now.
she's-
My phone, I need to go get it.
Oh, she plugged her phone. Remember she plugged her phone in earlier.
Yeah, I do remember
this
that.
is the
That was in the
payoff
middle of
we're
the
getting
zoomies.
from that. We're
Now-
getting this payoff from that.
Yeah.
So Natalie is going to tell us all about our top 5 that we have today.
Because Natalie came up with this idea, and now she is frantically typing or
She's
something.
freaking out. Like, oh my god, I can't believe this was going to happen. I didn't know.
I don't know the order of our show.
So normally we usually come up with our top 5s almost mere moments before the show starts.
Yeah.
Well, we've gotten a little better.
No,
Now we're about
the day of.
Yeah.
The day of, like
morning.
earlier, the morning of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalie came up with this idea, and I want you to tell us about it now.
Okay, well, I came up with it as a joke, and I said, "What if we do top 5 games that can suck it?"
Suck it.
Suck it.
And then Ryan,
out, you suck it, and
I was
you
like,
suck it.
"Just
You suck
kidding,"
it.
and Ryan's like, "Actually, let's do it."
I didn't say it that hoity-toity. I was like, this actually
Actually.
sounds hilarious. If we give me and Jeff and you no context, it's
Yeah.
just top 5 games that can suck it.
Yeah.
Whatever you think about
But I
suck
wanted
it.
to tell you before we say our games that can suck it. I wanted to talk about suck it, the meaning of suck it.
You take out your suck it and you suck it.
Suck it.
You suck it.
You suck it.
You suck it.
Suck it.
The internets say
The internets.
suck it
The
is
internet.
considered a vulgar expression that you tell someone who you are extremely upset with or angry with.
You can fucking suck it.
Hey, suck it.
You could also use this expression to rub something in someone's face. For instance, something they didn't think you could do.
Suck it, bitch.
Suck it.
Oh, suck
Once it's
it.
accomplished, you could use this term as an expression to say, even though you thought I couldn't, look, I just did it anyway.
Suck it.
Suck it, bitch.
Well, there's another meaning.
The idiom suck it originated in the 1990s.
She's just glossing over the other
like a
meaning.
in the world. What's
You could just be like,
Suck my dick?
you could just, no, you just say, suck it. What do you want me to do? Suck it.
Suck it. Operational roll.
Take out your suck it.
Yeah. Project O.
And you suck
Wait,
it.
no, Operation. Suck it.
Well,
Operation suck it.
Operation Oral. But really, this was originated in wrestling by
What was the fucking clue?
D-Generation
Do you not
X.
remember from minutes ago that was the fucking
What?
clue? Operation Oral. That was the clue.
remember.
You do?
You said it like you didn't.
You did. I thought you were just like, oh, that's funny.
Okay, go back to the. Go back
No,
to
I was just
WWF.
laughing about it.
Oh,
Go back
that's
to
funny.
WWF. Got it.
WWF. D-Generation X was the one who kind of was given credit the origin of the phrase "suck it," and he would do that hand chop
Oh, yeah,
to
the hand
crotch.
shot. We're all doing it.
Suck it.
Suck it.
I remember in
Suck
5th
it.
grade, the entire 5th grade, when I was 5th grade.
That must
I'll
have been
say
a fun
5th grade
time
again.
to be a
5th grade.
teacher.
Yeah. We all got in trouble because we were walking
Well, 'cause
around.
when you're a kid,
playground
that was like giving
doing
the finger.
Suck it. Yeah. So the whole 5th grade got in real big trouble for telling everybody to suck it all the time. We
Yeah,
would
that was
jump
like
on the
swearing
playground and be
when
like,
you were a
suck
kid.
it. And they were like, if you say suck it one more
If
time on the
one
playground,
more of you sucks
if
it.
one of you crosses your crotch and
Yeah.
says suck it.
Well, because you
you're on
wouldn't
deep
only cross
doo-doo.
your crotch, you would also hump. As
Yeah, it
you're
was like-
crossing,
Yeah.
it was like,
And then
Right.
sometimes you'd like jump off something and be like, suck
yeah,
it.
suck it.
Just to emphatically like.
Can you imagine
yeah,
like
excited.
Cameron's like
Yeah, if
people
he was
his
just like,
age just
"Suck
going,
it!"
suck it.
Yeah, well, why not?
That's what they.
Hilarious. But also, this one article
They'd be lucky to
had,
suck it.
had
They'd be lucky.
From my son.
example. It had example sentences to give you. For example,
Okay.
Brandon told Tiffany to suck it after she said there was no way he could do 100 push-ups, and he did it.
100 push-ups, suck it, bitch. Yeah, I
I
like
feel like he'd probably be like,
yeah, suck it.
Yeah.
suck it, you dumb bitch.
Or people who think global warming is a myth and that the world is flat can just suck it.
They can go off and just suck it.
Turns out it's a globe. Suck it.
Look at the
You thought the earth was flat? It's not. Suck it.
Another
It's just
example
you.
is a discussion between two brothers. Brother one.
Ooh, Jeff,
And-
you have
Okay.
first-hand knowledge of this.
And if you
Yeah.
aren't down with that, I got 2 words for you. Brother 2,
Suck it.
Brother 1, darn, I missed Generation X and their antics. Brother 2, me too. Wrestling is so boring now. And
Okay. That took a weird turn.
Wrestling is boring without suck it.
the last one is a discussion between 2 coworkers. Coworker 1, I just want to tell the manager to suck it. Coworker 2, I don't think that would be in your best interest. Coworker 1, probably not, but it would make me feel better.
Yeah, suck it. And then what about this last one where you take out your suck it?
And you suck it.
You suck
Yeah.
it.
You suck it.
Suck it.
You suck it.
Suck it.
I just told ChatGPT, I said, write a joke where the punchline is suck it. You
Okay.
ready? Here's
Yep.
what it says. Why did the vampire join the vacuum cleaner sales team? Because he wanted to suck it like a pro.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Just have
How
it
did they
write
do that?
another.
I said, here's another one. Sure, here's another one. Why did the grape win the marathon?
Why?
Because it knew how to suck it up and run with the best of them.
Okay.
Doesn't make any sense. Another one, please. Why did the straw go to therapy? Because it couldn't suck it up and handle all the pressure
There
anymore.
you go. All right. Thanks.
Well,
All right.
Here's our top 5 games that
Natalie,
can
you tell us
suck
the
it.
order you'd like us to go in.
Oh, me?
Yep.
Oh, man, I'm
You're
in
running the show
charge?
here.
Oh,
You're last,
snap.
Natalie.
Don't let this go to your fucking head.
How about Jeff, Ryan, me?
Great. Sounds perfect.
In normal order.
It'd be great.
Number 5 for me
Okay.
is Tiny Towns.
Oh,
That game can fucking suck it.
Suck it.
Suck it, Tiny Towns. You suck. Suck it.
You suck it. Tiny Towns can suck
Take
it.
out your suck it and you suck it.
You suck
it.
Number
Fuck you,
5
Tiny
for
Towns.
Ryan is a game that Rado called the best game of the year last year, maybe 2021, and it's called Roll Camera. If there was an adult version of this game, you know what it'd be called, Jeff?
Suck it.
Suck it.
Suck it.
Suck it.
Suck it.
Suck it.
Natalie, what do you got?
What's number 5?
My number 5 is a game we just played. It's called My Little Everdell. And the reason that this game can suck it is because it made me lose to a 6,
made you
9, and
lose.
11-year-old.
I lost to a 6-year-old suck it game.
Suck it.
Yeah,
Damn
this game
you.
can suck it.
Natalie stands up and humps the table as she does the cross arms. All right, Jeff, what's number 4?
This
sorry,
one
you
has
did that,
a
Natalie.
couple meanings for number 4. A, I hate the game, so it can suck it.
Suck it.
And B, in the game, if you do well enough, you might get some sucking.
Suck it.
Fog of Love.
Oh.
Suck it.
That's a perfect
So
one.
you suck it during the love part,
Yep.
but while you're playing, the game fucking sucks.
It sucks.
And it can suck
Lots
it.
of suck happening in this game.
Suck.
Suck
Go
it.
suck yourself.
Suck it. We are saying the word suck more in this episode. It's going to be the most used word of the Gamecasters.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
If we did a word cloud of this
Yeah.
episode,
Right, suck
it
would be huge
would
and in the middle.
bold in the middle.
Number 4 for me is the game called Bananagrams because of that one outtake in Bored with Life.
Yep, that can suck it all
Where
right.
Nikki is just shoving the fucking bananagrams in her mouth. She's kind of sucking it.
Yep.
Natalie, what's number 4?
My number
No.
4 is...
Sorry, I'm letting you do
What?
this.
Oh, my number 4 is Lisboa because that game can suck it.
Suck
it's
it.
too long. It's too boring. It's too much.
It also kind of sounds like
Suck
Project L.
Yeah. I kind of thought Lisboa. I was like,
You did, you?
Sense, yeah.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, Jeff. You can do it.
Ooh.
You're
Oh,
the
let's do it
little
again.
host,
Natalie,
Yeah,
you
you
do
do
it.
it.
Oh, God.
Jeff, number 3.
My number 3 is Hughes and Q's. Fuck that game. Suck
Fuck it. That
That
game
game
sucks.
that
Suck it,
does.
Hughes and Q's.
That's a game I would just be like, that game sucks.
That game.
People are like,
Yeah.
Suck
oh,
it.
Hughes and Q's is so fun. No, that game
If
sucks.
someone was like at a table, so if we go to Origins and someone's playing Hughes and Q's, hey, you want to play Hughes and Q's? Suck it. I'm not
Suck it.
playing that fucking game.
Suck it.
Suck
You'll notice from my list, I didn't necessarily always go with games that suck, and this is one of them.
I
Number
did.
3 is Pulsar 2849, designed by Vladimir Suckit. And what pulses more than when it sucked?
Yep.
Nice.
Pulsar, suck it, suck it, suck it.
My number 3 is Skull King, which is a game that can suck it.
Suck it. I like that game.
I like that game.
No,
a
you
lot.
don't.
It freaks me out, but I like it.
I don't.
likes it?
You're right. Fuck it. Suck it. I'm with you. I'm on board. Suck it. That game can suck it.
Yeah, that game could suck.
All right,
it.
number 2.
All right, maybe this is a game I don't necessarily hate, but I kind of hate. Order Overload Cafe.
Suck it.
Suck it.
Suck it.
Hey, do you want to remember anything? Suck it. I'm
Suck
not
it.
remembering it. Fuck you.
I don't get it.
Nope.
I can't remember.
No, not going. Milk soy latte, suck it. Don't care. Banana muffin, suck it.
Banana
Don't
graham
go
muffin?
on it. Nope.
Banana muffin graham. Number 2 for me is Hungry Hippos because you never know until you try.
Oh my god.
Ooh, all right.
My
Yeah, suck it.
number 2.
Natalie, you hit the button and I'll just be right there. Suck it.
Oh my god. My number 2 is a game that it's Paint the Roses, and this is the opposite reason that Devin would put this game on the list because I
wanna blow
think
it.
we kill it at this game. We're so good at it.
Oh, I
so
see.
I'm like in your face kind of suck it.
Oh, like,
Yeah,
like
suck
listen,
it, game.
Queen
Paint
of
the
Hearts.
Roses.
Yeah, suck
Listen,
it.
Queen of Hearts, suck it.
Suck
Thought
it.
you could get the best of me? Suck it.
Suck it.
You are the cutest, nerdiest little. That is the whitest thing anyone's ever
They're about to
said.
bang.
Hey, Queen of Hearts, you think you can get the best of me? Gotcha. Imagine you saying that on the streets, in the mean streets.
All right, Jeff, what's your number 1?
Is that what the
That was me trying to be in the home.
You trying to be who?
There you go.
You go to the bathroom.
That's her.
Oh my
that's
God.
Natalie's man voice.
Well, quick shout out to Devin. Devin would put 2 games on this list.
Okay.
1, Paint the Roses.
Cause suck it.
Yep.
Suck it. And 2, Extraordinary Pirates, some shit
Yeah,
game.
I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
that
that's
was
right.
Suck it
Joe's
for that
pirate
one.
game.
For real. My number 1 game, I went with games I really don't like other than the cafe game, which
Yeah.
I find annoying but fun. Every year, someone says, hey, do you want to play this game? And all I can think in my head is,
No.
Suck it.
Suck it.
this game is called Wits and Wagers.
That's a
Hate
good
that
one.
game
Suck it.
so
That game
much.
sucks.
Suck it.
I will avoid playing that game.
Suck it. Wits
Suck
and
it.
Waggers.
Number 1 for me. Number 1 for me is a game called that Jeff loves called Broom Service. Now listen, the
Yeah,
game
great.
can suck it. Also, I feel like the title is another name for sucking it.
Yeah, Broom Service.
Oh
Give me
my God.
Give me some broom service.
Oh, suck my
Hey.
broom.
My
Holster my
broom?
broom. Mouth holster my broom.
Mouth holster my broom. Broom
you
service.
sleep with that?
Suck it. Well, it's just a handle.
You can sweep the barbershop
The broom
floor.
part of the pubes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Thank you. All right, what do you got for
Okay,
number
my
1?
number 1 is a game that can really suck it, and it's called Tuberynth.
Two Brents can suck
Because it's a
it.
tube?
Because
got a
it's the
lot of
most
tubes.
impossible game there is.
Oh, damn.
Suck it.
You know what I typed in?
And you can suck it through a tube.
I in Google, I went board games with holes in them because I wanted the game to actually suck it. I didn't really find
I thought
much.
of I went on a board game. You guys was like, what kind of vacuum games are there?
Did you see Sucking Vacuum? There was a game called Sucking Vacuum. I saw that
Or I
too.
was like, is there any game about leeches? They suck. Or
Oh,
all
yeah.
these- I was almost had a list of vampire games. I was
Vampire,
like, I just
yep,
got a
that's
whole list
good.
of
That
vampire
would've been
games.
good.
Let's get
Suck
another
it.
joke from ChatGPT.
Okay.
Why did the chef get fired from the soup kitchen?
Why?
Because he told all the customers to suck it and eat their soup.
What?
No, I'm sorry, suck it up. Dang, I ruined it.
Oh, damn.
Still not
These all
funny.
keep saying suck it
Still
up.
not good.
And these are
They're also like clean. They're all about
Well,
like
ChatGPT
sucking it up a straw.
I tried telling ChatGPT something. I was
something
like, just give me an inappropriate word for this, and it was like, no.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't like that.
Yeah, it was like.
Did you hear about the Italian chef though?
No, I didn't hear about him.
He passed away.
Oh shit!
Like that one?
Yeah.
Because pasta.
I
Yeah,
get it.
pasta.
And then
pasta,
passed
he
away.
passed
What
it.
if you
Pasta's
say,
what they
"Tell
call
me a
that.
dirty joke"? It's going to be about like a
Mud.
mess.
Yeah,
If
it's
I
gonna
say,
be the difference between
if I
fart,
say,
poop,
yeah,
and-
okay. Can you tell me a dirty joke? Here's what it says. I apologize, but I'm not able to generate explicit or adult-oriented content. If you have any other type of joke or question you'd like me to help with, please let me know.
What a waste.
Can I just say suck?
I saw this like meme the other day on Instagram, and it was basically like it said something about like, I wish this AI stuff would like do something like look at all the groceries that I buy and then like estimate when I will be out or running low on them, and then look at all the local stores and find the best deals, and then give me a list of like what to buy like based
You want it to
on like
be your coupon cutter.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
and then
shit's
tell
gonna
you
happen.
when you're gonna need
That's gonna
stuff.
happen.
And then it was like, what I don't want is for it to like make a picture of me as an astronaut.
It'll get there.
Do something useful instead
I like
of like
that, though. It's entertainment right now, because right now it's
Everything
like
is
we don't
so
need
useful.
it. Yeah,
No.
Scary useful.
that's really funny. So that's going to do it for us tonight, everybody. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters and you'll find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. If you like the show, we'd love it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us. We've also got a Patreon. If you want to support the show, feel free to head on over to patreon.com/thegamecasters. There's also a merch store where you can find all sorts of different Gamecasters, Mad Board Gamer, Gateway gear. So head on over to thegatewaynetwork.com/store. Please follow me and consider subscribing on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gamecasters. So for Natalie and Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I'm Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody. All right, Natalie, say buffalo 8 times.
Oh, buffalo, buffalo.
Well, hold on. Make it grammatically correct.
Yeah.
Buffalo, 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 buffalo.
Jeff?
Was that 8? Buffalo, 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 buffalo.
Buffalo, 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 buffalo.